It helps keep track of it. I think it's also useful sometimes to say the week of, so people know what week you're talking about the news. Don't have to, but sometimes it really depended on how things were going. During the end of our podcast, we kind of got into too much of a rut, and we weren't doing much interesting. Plus, 2008. No, 2008, 2011. It was before the Wii U was announced, so it was real. It was kind of like the slog end years of the Wii when I was doing it.
Well, we have been live to YouTube for about, I guess, 45 seconds now. So say hi to our one viewer that we have so far.
Woo!
Who is it?
Hello, hello, viewer.
I don't know.
Hello.
I'm guessing it's probably Heather. She's usually our first viewer.
Oh, if it is you, Heather, I actually use those lottery numbers in the lottery, and the drawing is tonight, so I hope I win.
You'll never see him on this show again.
We'll have the most fabulous prize giveaway live.
She's really good at predicting stuff, so I'm taking her words into account. I'm trusting our fans, and I'm hoping that it works out.
Give me the numbers, and I'll be right back.
We'll put our names in all. We'll put all the names in the hat, and the winner is, and we're just like, gonna be. Yep, there we go.
I'm going to pop out the live chat. So while we have most of us, Mike is about to jump in here pretty soon, and Justin is going to be jumping in at 6 or I guess 8:15 for you East Coasters. So I'm gonna just kind of run through what we planned on doing for this evening, and then we'll get the show proper started at 8:30. We usually start about 8:30 or a half hour after we go live. You know.
Should I have that live chat open? I don't know how you guys do things.
Okay, I mean, you can. It's up to you. You can click the YouTube link, I think, on the bottom of the deal there, and then if you click on the 3 buttons on the top right, it'll say something that says "Pop Out Live Chat," or you can just have the YouTube open and see us all twice. That would be weird, but it's up to you.
Double. I'm trying. This computer is so old and slow. I can't even load Twitter to find the link.
Mute. Pause the video.
But okay, so we're gonna start the show with the list that we have, here of 92 games, and well, first of all, actually, let me ask this question, Lewis or anybody else, do you guys have to get out of here like super early?
It depends how long the show goes.
We're thinking it's going to be about 2.5 hours. We usually run about 2.5 hours, 3 hours. So
no, I can't go that long.
I mean, I may drop out, but
I have to.
That's fine.
I have chores and I have to finish YouTube videos tonight. So.
Okay. Well, then we will. Then what we're gonna do because it sounds like Lewis, you're gonna have to drop out early as well.
I'll probably drop out at some point, but I'll try and stick around for a decent chunk.
Okay. So what we're gonna do, we had discussed starting off the show with the list. But for those of you who have to duck out a little bit early, we'll let you start off the show talking about like your memories with Infendo and everything like that, because that was going to be the second part of the show after the list. So for Lewis and Sean and Harrison and Holly, like if you guys have to get out of here, we can start that kind of stuff, and then we'll get started with the list. Does that sound all right?
That sounds fine. I'm 50-50 right now in terms of like if I'm staying up, but it looks like I may be able to. So
okay, sure. Great. Well, then as for the list, so how we're going to tackle that, we plan on, I don't know if you guys listen to like any Giant Bomb or anything like that who do like Game of the Year type stuff. So we're going to kind of model it after that. Basically, we're going to go in turns, removing games for the list. And how we're going to start that is the first round, everybody's going to take a turn, and they're going to give a game that they basically have to have on the list, right? So if it's like your favorite game of all time, you probably want to pick that game. Doesn't mean it's going to get on the list at the very end of the day, but it's going to give us a place to start. After that, after we go through one round of that, we're going to start cutting games from the list. So we'll go in an order, and then everybody will pick 3 games to cut from the list. If we have any disagreement, like let's say that Lewis decides to cut Breath of the Wild and I can't stand that, then we will have a discussion about it, and then, okay, we'll say, all right, well, maybe we can cut Custom Robo before Breath of the Wild. And then we'll come to an agreement, and then we'll move on to the next person until we get the list down to 25 games. We're not planning on ordering the list this week. but we're gonna do that next week. Yes, Mr. Lucas.
Mike wants you. I can't believe you already forgot my name. Mike wants you to add him to the call because I guess he can't like clicky or whatever. Can you do that?
Sounds good. He can't clicky.
I'm actually a little disappointed that he had to stop and think about my name. Like all these greats come on, and all of a sudden Lucas is just the worst one of the bunch. Nothing going on here.
My bad.
I'm actually pissed.
Last episode as well.
I'm pissed at Gentis for not being here because that officially makes me the one who's been on Infendo the least amount of time in the group, and that pisses me off. So.
That's funny. So does that make sense for everybody about the list anyways? Because that's pretty much it. I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
I think so.
Yeah, it works. I mean, we've got a big list to start with. But yeah, no, the rules are simple.
Yeah.
I like it.
And since we, hey, Mike.
95 games walk in, 25 games walk out.
That's right. and so it's looking like we're not going to have a huge bunch. I don't think we're going to do 2 separate groups. I think we'll just roll with what we got, and then that'll just make it easy. We'll just have to try and not talk over each other as much as we can. I know it's hard, but, you know.
I will talk over everyone. I have the loudest voice.
Actually,
it's going to be a challenge. Normal podcast etiquette and everything.
Yeah, but we have
There's a big podcast going
snowballs
on.
that we can hold right up to our mouths and talk really loud and deep into the microphone.
I can go closer to the mic than you can.
Yeah, so it's
I
going
really don't know what's going on here
to
anymore.
let's see the mic.
No. The only way we talk to everybody right now is unless what is it, like not the speaking stone, unless you have the speaking book or like some object. I forgot whatever it's like. You can only
Speaking
talk when you,
switch. I'm holding the speaking switch.
Nice.
you can only talk when you hold the switch. There you go.
Yeah.
Let me just say my first words of the entire night because
Hi, Holly.
Hi, Holly.
Hello. I'm Holly.
Hey, Holly's here. All right.
The first and I think only girl who was ever on the show as a regular. Is that right?
I think that's accurate.
Yeah, with the exception of David's wife, which doesn't count because she was on like once.
Hey, I know we're live on this, so I hope I'm not calling anybody out, but I reached out to David, and he has Infendo blocked and Infendo Eugene blocked, but he's my friend on Facebook. So I don't know what...
No, it's probably just that he used to get a lot of, like when he stopped being active, I think he just got a lot of spam. That's probably...
But why block Infendo Eugene?
I don't know. Probably just wanted to not do Infendo work for a while.
Fair enough, because I invited him, but I never heard back from him, so I'm, just, that's how it goes, I guess. All right, so...
Well, Scott Pratt should be here like within a half an hour, I think he said on Twitter.
He said he was going to jump in, yeah. So I think the last thing we have to go over is recording. We don't do anything fancy because we don't got no money, so we just record like locally and send it all and mix it later. So is everybody fine with that? Like recording like on Audacity or like something? So then, okay, cool.
Yeah,
I got that ready. I got that all set up right here.
Cool. Then I'll send you guys a link to the drive, and then you guys can just export it, upload it.
Should we be recording right now, or are we waiting?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
wait,
it's fine.
Wait. I'll record right now.
No, it's fine.
Okay, that's fine. I was thinking like what?
It's a lot later than I thought it was.
Yep, we'll just start recording once we get Justin on at the very least, because he should be on here pretty soon, and then we'll Bill excellent.
Dang it, Justin.
So you guys do we could probably talk about this on the show, but you guys do 2-hour shows now, huh? That's
like 3 usually.
That's an epic sized podcast.
Well, there's a lot of nonsense to cut
us.
through.
It's true. You should see how much
It's mostly my fault.
Yeah.
I had our version of the show was short, mostly because I didn't want to deal with editing something that large.
Sure.
So I was like, all right, 45 minutes, no mistakes. I was like really strict. I was kind of a jerk about it because I just was like, I don't have much time.
And and that's the thing that kind of got me hooked on for like a little like I like longer podcasts, but also those smaller bite-sized ones you get for like 45, 50 minutes. They just work so well. Like for instance, I was listening to NBC on the road to when I was going on a float trip this past weekend. And that was the perfect time to actually finish like an hour and 10-minute long podcast. Like, okay, wow, that actually got me through the road trip.
Yeah, it depends on what it is. I have an archive of the guys that review movies that I listen to, and a couple of really long podcasts. And I listen to those like when I do chores. I just listen to those like forever. But if I'm driving, it really depends. So podcasts work in all lengths. It's just funny because like the show's changed format like so many times over like a decade. It's impressive.
Yeah.
It's almost. It is over a decade now. The show actually, I think it started.
Yeah,
like
2005.
Yeah.
2005. Yeah.
Good job, everybody.
Oh no, and it's very. And if you talk to like even higher up people, like say who are in the industry or even kind of got something big, like a couple guys I know from like Nintendo World Report that I would just chat with, and they said like, oh, where'd you first like start out with? I was like, oh, I started out. I was a journalist at the Missouri School of Journalism, and then I started small little things here, and then I was in Infendo for about a couple of years. Like, wait, you work for Infendo? He's like, yeah. It's like, well, volunteer, right? It's like, man, that used to be one of the best, like, my go-to gaming site, like Nintendo sites there. It's like, but they kind of just disappear for a bit. So what are you guys doing? It's like, well, we're keeping a podcast alive. That's it. Good for you, they said. You know, that was like that itself kind of like connects you out there.
Right.
It's funny. Go on.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. You're the guest.
Oh, I was just saying it. No, I'm not a guest. I'm just a guy. I was just saying it's funny because like Infendo rose at such a different time in the internet. Like it's like every 2 years the internet's a completely different place, and what works changes, and it's such a nightmare to keep up with.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I was surprised that when I took over Infendo, gosh, I guess it was 2 years ago. I let it sit for about a year dead because I didn't really have the time, and then I slowly started doing a little bit of stuff. But like it had been like 2 years dead by the time we started up the podcast again, and I wasn't expecting much. But keep listening. I guess they saved us on their RSS or something.
And it's like holy crap, it's back. Yeah, and that happens too when things come back. One of my favorite old podcasts was Japan Talk. It was by this old dude who just lived in Japan, and he was a translator by trade, and he was like 70 or something. And he just did a podcast about this is what's in the Japanese news this week, and he just read it. Then he disappeared for like 3 years and just came back one day. It was amazing. It was the most exciting thing in the world for me. I'm like, it's back.
That's awesome.
And it's gone again now. So sad.
Yeah. What may be an obvious question, but a good one to ask a film. So who of us who actively do podcasts actually do listen to podcasts on a regular basis? Because I know it's not a one-to-one with everybody.
I don't know what it's like for podcasts because I only guest on them now. But for making, I don't read tech news. I only write tech news, and I don't read it. I don't even read Gadget. I work it and I don't even read it. Which is terrible because I don't know what's going on anymore.
That's how half of us are with Infendo. Like half of us don't read the articles that we post.
I try and skim stuff.
I like to read the articles, but I don't usually listen to the edited podcast anymore. Now that we do like a whole live thing, just because
Oh, it's hard if you're not editing the podcast and you've been on it. It's hard to want to listen to it because you're like, I already had this conversation.
Well, and like I have a remarkably bad memory, so sometimes it's good because I can go on and be like, oh yeah, Mike did say that thing that I didn't think he said that he's lying about in the chat right now. But like 9 times out of 10, I know what we're going to talk about. So
There's nothing specific there at all.
No, never. No.
I like how you all have. I like how you all have cool stuff on your wall. Like there's artwork behind Holly. I think someone's got a Kid Icarus poster. Everyone's wall is cooler than mine.
The pictures. So I'm
your game collection is cooler than ours.
Oh, those
mine at least.
Those aren't games.
Those aren't games. This is my wife's manga collection.
Oh my goodness.
She has a ridiculous amount, and it's amazing.
That's still awesome.
That is still cooler.
I don't think ridiculous starts to describe that. I don't think ridiculous describes all that collection.
I've now messed up the shelf, and she's going to be upset. There we go.
I'm going to use this as the second opportunity in this 2 evenings to show off my new Splatoon art book. Is this in the collection?
Oh, where did you get that? That is amazing.
I pre-ordered it from Amazon. It came yesterday.
Oh.
So it's brand new, but it's fun.
This was actually apparently if you want to get into collecting this stuff, you don't buy it at the stores. You use stuff like paperback swap. She got all this stuff for almost nothing. Nice. Yeah, I wish that's really nice. I'm looking forward to the Splatoon manga that's coming out, and apparently anime they just announced.
Yeah, going like direct to YouTube, the anime, which would be cool.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's an incredibly bright book. I mean, it sounds obvious to say, but the colors really do pop out. Which is obviously only
wish
appropriate.
those were game. Oh my gosh, that would be crazy if that was.
Yeah.
I just want to go on a record and say now that I'm not even in my own house right now. I am pet sitting for 2 weeks, and I'm in someone's
Whose house
basement.
are you at?
He's in the Mad Monster Mansion.
Yeah.
And there are tribal masks everywhere, and I'm not even sure I should be showing all this off, but yeah.
I make it a nightly routine to try to paranoid and scare him as much as possible, and I think it's working. Like, I'm honestly convinced I'm going to break you by the end of the 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
I mean, you know, that's just behind me right now all night long. That hairy monkey mask. Could like make a Majora's Mask 2 out of all the things I'm seeing right now.
I don't have any cool things to show y'all, so you just have to look at my Pokemon shirt.
I just a little bit of digging for my own sake, and it might be interesting. My first article on Infendo was February 2013, and that was just an introduction thing. But the first proper thing I actually wrote for the site was a review for Zen Pinball 2 for the 3DS.
Quality.
Oh my god!
Nice.
I've not read anything about the game.
Zen Pimple?
Yeah, let's see what Lewis thought of it. I honestly can't remember.
Dude, I went from trolling in the Infendo comments and then trying to fight in the Infendo forums to like getting a guest spot on like episode like.
I was gonna say, funny you should say that. The first thing I see, I scroll down to try and find a score or something. First thing is a comment by you.
Are you serious? Yes.
This review made me think the game was out. It wasn't. Sad face.
That is so my comment. Oh my gosh.
I probably should have done my research and figured out when I joined, because I don't even know the number of the episode.
Yeah, homework.
I could find the exact date. Where's my phone? I'll just look at the tweet.
Yeah, I came in.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went from forum trolling and comment bickering to like getting on episode 298 with Holly and Lewis to talk about Monster Hunter, and then after that it was like all downhill from there.
Mike, did I replace you on the first one? Was that why I did it? Because you were going on a cruise and they needed a third? Was that the point?
No,
so it didn't have to be Justin and Eugene by themselves?
I think you joined like a week before that, I think, just so they can know who you were and like have fun. I kept pressing you to come join us because I was like, Lucas, come and do a podcast with us, and then
if we're telling stories, are we telling stories about how we all started? Because maybe we should save that for the show.
Well, yes, but I need like spark notes before we start because I don't remember my own life. So.
Because
it was a dark and stormy night 26 years ago, and Lucas came into the world.
I actually was born on a stormy night.
Well, you were born in Florida, so I mean that makes sense.
I was born in Vermont. Thank you.
Oh well, screw.
Bred, not born.
Justin's about to join the call, so we can get started here soon.
I have found the email from my first like embargoed stuff, like the Animal Crossing. Oh my gosh! Like this is like the edited notes of like the first article I sent in before they were edited with images. This is super weird. It's not the email I'm trying to find though.
Infendo used to edit notes.
Well, I did because I was, and I'll go into more of this. I wasn't really supposed to be a Infendo person. I kind of
snuck your way in
a little bit. It was very convenient. I'll explain on this show.
Sounds like me.
I was a convenient person at a convenient time. That's all I was.
All right, I feel a connection to you now. I like you. The rest of you,
pretty much how I was too. Like,
but
it's funny because like Eugene and I had a really like proper conversation on Twitter, like in DMs, like, "Hey, I'd really like you to come join a podcast for a week or two." And I'd be like, "That'd be great. I'd love to do that. It'd be awesome. I've been doing a lot of stuff on Nintendo Fever. I'd love to do a new podcast." And all of a sudden after that, it's like gradually degraded from like proper to like the most
awful
on the internet.
That's great.
Oh,
hey, Justin.
Hello, I'm here. I'm still eating my lunch, so I'll probably be muted and invisible for a little while, but I want to make sure I got in.
I'm never going to
Enjoy
get
lunch.
used to that face.
Right? We only saw everybody
What, the
on
shaven
the. Well, no, we just first saw you for the first time like 2 weeks ago. Like all of your Facebook stuff is your me, so like this is the first time I've ever seen you.
It's hard. It's a hard transition.
So if everybody wants
How
to
do you
start,
think I feel looking at your ugly mug every week?
start recording on Audacity or whatever you're doing.
Oh,
Make sure that you guys have your right microphone selected and that you have
snowball.
Yeah, just in case, because we've run into that issue before.
Wait. Right micro, as in base. I'm confused by that.
The correct microphone.
Like, so correct microphone. Yeah, thank you.
The proper microphone.
Yeah,
Okay,
like
so do we have a thing to sync when we start recording, or something to sync?
Mm-hmm. We have a thing to say.
Because I haven't started.
Is there a process? Do we clap? What do we do?
No.
Eugene counts down to 3, and then we all clap, but we all do it horribly out of order. And then we remember the time that we clapped, but most of us don't remember it. So Eugene writes in his little notebook about how much he hates all of us.
In that case, let's start recording right now.
Yeah,
do it.
This way.
Oh, you know what? Let me go get my non-mechanical keyboard real quick, so then the podcast isn't full of clicks.
See that? We listen to our fans.
So we're recording
just
now.
A heads up, guys. Or you can start recording now. Just a heads up, if I sound like garbled on the live podcast, it's because that I am on my phone because the internet here is abysmal, and I brought my own router and it doesn't work, so I need to use my phone.
Are you recording the audio on your phone too?
No, I have Audacity on my laptop, I have my Sobol and everything, but to do the show, I have to be on my phone for 2 hours, holding my phone.
That's you.
Magic in a way.
All right,
I just enjoy listening to Mike like completely G-rated. It's amazing.
That's never a thing.
Hey, I threw the law down. I said we all got to be on our good behavior for everybody. So this is a big old party we got.
Wait, there are rules. I
apologize in advance.
I can't curse like a sailor.
We are an explicit podcast, so if you do, it's not a huge deal. But we figured, not everybody.
I mean, I don't, but I want the option to be a terrible person.
I mean, yeah, their option's always there. I mean, you take it.
Same with me. We now run a family-friendly show. I was looking forward to the excuse to let some steam. I was told.
Well, I mean, you've come to the right place.
I can't wait to get to the introduction so I can finally identify who all these faces are.
Well, there are also names when they talk on Hangouts. I mean,
like Mr. Pokemon Trainer, for example.
Yeah, exactly. See, you know who I am and what I do right off the bat. So, but for all of the adults in the room who actually use their own name, you'll know who they are.
All right, guys, we're going to
I was right on
sync
all
up.
of them.
So I'm going to do a countdown from 3. We're all going to clap 3 times, and hopefully we're all in sync. If we're not, it's fine. It's just a good marker to see the spikes in the show or in the Audacity files.
So 3 claps.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys, ready?
Yeah.
In 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, just like that. Good job, everyone.
That was good.
We're recording.
All right, Harrison, what was your recording at?
It's 7:26 right now.
Great.
Mine says 228.
Wait, I'm not ready, Sean. You're not the next in line.
228. It's 228.
No.
Shut up.
Great, well, now I've forgotten mine.
Holly, what were you at?
What was I at when I clapped?
Or what you're at
Yes.
now, whatever. It's fine. I'll find the spike.
The rough ballpark.
Welcome to Infendo.
When times have changed.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear your time, Holly, if you gave it to me.
Let's see. I gotta go back here.
It's been about a minute since we clapped, so subtract a minute from that.
Okay, fair enough. So about a minute and a half, minute 34, maybe.
Works for me.
Yeah,
Works.
no. And Eugene, when I mentioned 7:26, I meant the actual time, 7:26 Central.
Oh God! Oh, what is your? How much have you recorded? What is your
I'm
recording at now?
I'm now at a minute 15. A minute 15 right now.
Okay, that works. So you're probably about 15 seconds. I guess I should have been more clear. All right, Justin, what is your time zone? I mean, what were your?
My clap was about 2 minutes 40 seconds.
Great. Lewis, what was yours at?
Clap.
Yes,
I mean,
please.
you give me either one, and I'll figure it out later on.
Is it continuously scrolls to where it is?
That's what I struggled with.
Okay, guys, it's been 2 minutes since we clapped, so just subtract 2 minutes from wherever you're at.
The podcast is going to
It
be
is
over by
exactly
the time
2
we get to
minutes. At 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
That works for me.
Thank you, good sir. Yeah,
All
we're
right,
not going
Mike.
to even get to record.
You're up.
I'm up. 2 minutes and 46 seconds.
Yep.
I remembered. Guys.
Awesome. And why do I keep forgetting your name? Lucas, what are you at?
I want to give you
You're
such an obscene gesture right now. I hate
You're a
you. I don't
horrible
even
person.
want to do this anymore. I was at 2 minutes and 54 seconds, and I remembered because I care about you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right, Sean, you're up. And I rudely interrupted you before.
Oh,
hope you remember.
I yelled it so many times I forgot it. 248, I think.
2 something.
228.
It's okay. Make Eugene's life harder. That's what we're all here to do tonight.
Have fun editing.
It's going to be wonderful.
Give me a second. I think I can rewind, hopefully without ruining the recording.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
It's
don't
not
worry
that
about it. Not a big deal.
Good, because my computer apparently can't handle moving the mouse with all this going on.
Okay, last thing I ask is if you guys would kindly retweet the Infendo Twitter, if you wouldn't mind doing that, so then we can see if we can't get everybody here, and then we'll get started.
How to internet? I'm sure I got it in here somewhere.
I don't have time to retweet. I don't have time to retweet you. I'm busy fighting with somebody on the internet right now.
Luckily, I get a notification, but I didn't. All right.
I made my own tweet, so good enough, right?
That works for me. Okay, so does anybody have any questions before we get started about the format or anything? Holly, were you here when we discussed the format?
Yes, I was.
Okay, great. Because I
Can you give me like?
last one.
Can you give me like a 1 minute summary of how a normal episode of the current version of Infendo Radio goes? Because I have no idea.
You
My-
pretty
have
much
this-
experienced it already.
It goes like
We're also not really doing a normal episode, but like
Right.
normally we do a news segment, then we do a game called Nintendoons where it's basically just guess the song, and then we wrap up with what we've been playing. But tonight we're like just doing the magic list thing.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't count. Doesn't count.
Doesn't matter. I mean, if you listen to the show once, maybe you would know. But you know, it's cool. You
No,
don't have to listen
hey,
to us. We don't need fans or ratings or an audience or anything. We'll be just fine with our love and respect for each other. It's cool. Don't feel bad about it or anything.
Well, you know, there was. Never mind. I was trying to offer something.
This is also how the show normally goes as well.
Oh boy.
Okay, so I'm going to make a note in my Audacity. We are going to get started here shortly. And yeah, let me do this here. Show start.
Michael Thompson says shots fired.
Does anybody need to make a last minute restroom break or anything like that before we get rolling?
I'm good.
I am tethered to my basement. I can't leave.
All right, then I
I'll
guess we're
just
gonna
off
get
my
started.
camera and run if I have to.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, guys, let's get rolling then. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Infendo Radio, special episode 400. I've got a few weird people with me tonight. I don't know who they are, but we're going to all find out together. So I don't really know how to do this kind of introduction tonight. We've got a full crew. Everybody say hello at once. Let's try and introduce the show all at the same time. Everybody give your introductions right now.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to
Welcome
Infendo.
back to Infendo.
I'm Holly because or you can hear me right now because I'm the only girl. I have a different
Lucas.
voice from everybody else.
Highly
I'm
unhelpful.
not
I'm not Holly, but I'm using my voice type too. You're not that special.
I'm the most
Notice how
I'm
much
the
different
most
section.
obviously different person here.
I'm realizing right now in the live stream with 8 people in here, I feel like we're an Alice from the Brady Bunch away from like that really long like title screen. That's what we got going right now.
Okay, so I'm going to start introducing us, but I'm going to introduce us with in the order that I see on my screen. So let's start with Harrison. How are you doing tonight, Harrison?
Eugene, yes, my name's Harrison. I used to be, should I introduce when I was?
Oh yeah,
Catholic?
give us everything. Give us what you are. Give us where you're at.
I'll give you the Cliff Notes version right now. Obviously, we'll have more to talk about, but I started with Infendo back in 2012, left in 2015. I was a co-host for about 2 to 3 years. I currently, right now, I'm a freelance gaming writer, and I currently do projects with another podcast called The Voice, and I'm currently a writer-editor for Pure Nintendo,
Awesome.
Pure Nintendo Magazine and .com.
Nice. Well, great having you on. You were one of my old co-hosts, so that's great to see you. We didn't used to see each other before, but now, with the advent of video, here we are.
Yes, it's been a while. It's the first time I actually even seen you and your voice probably since a while. So
Yeah, no kidding. Well, next up we've got Holly, our sole female voice, except for we've got Jolly in the back over there. Jolly Lucas. I don't know if he's gonna contribute, but
Jolly.
Hey, remembered your name this time at least.
How you doing, Holly?
I'm doing great. As for an introduction, I actually started writing for Infendo back in April 2011, which may come as a surprise to some folks here. I took a long hiatus after a certain amount of time from that, though, and I came back and started writing again, I think in 2013, when Louis Pugh was on the show and everything like that. And it was soon after that I joined the podcast. So I would say like fall of 2013 is when I finally got to be on the podcast.
Right.
So that currently I'm not really up to a whole lot. I occasionally do a little podcast with an old Nintendo Fever co-host of mine, Matt Desmond. Whenever we feel, we used to do a regular show weekly, but now we just kind of do it whenever we feel like it. So hopefully we'll have an episode up soon about Splatoon 2, because we both really want to talk about that. And if you want to kind of figure out what's going on with that, just follow me on Twitter at Lil Red Koopa, Lil Red Koopa, basically.
Nice.
So other than that, I'm not up to a whole lot except just playing Nintendo.
Yeah, that's right. Still playing Breath of the Wild all day, every day.
Yeah, everybody.
Oh, and Holly, by the way, Holly, I heard that. You can say hiatus instead of hiatus. It's okay. You
Hiatus?
Q, so it's all right.
It sounds so much better. Hiatus.
And it's Quay instead of Q on this show.
Yeah, so you can pronounce the word right. Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about our proper pronunciation when we get to the Brit of the episode. But we're not. Justin, how you doing tonight?
I'm pretty good. I shaved for this episode, so everybody appreciates that.
Awesome. Well, we're to you, Lewis. So you got any pronunciation tips for us tonight?
I shall interject when appropriate.
Nice. Well,
I will interject when inappropriate.
Yeah, that is the goddamn truth. Lewis, tell us who you are, what you're all about. Tell us all about you.
Cool. I am Lewis. I was part of Infendo back in 2013, writing articles, reviews, and so on. And then joined the podcast fairly shortly afterwards, a couple months afterwards, in fact. And then a couple months after that, I believe, I started hosting and editing the show, which is when we first, well, not first, but we started numbering the shows again. We might get a bit more into that later on. And that, at least, that was 274. And podcasted for a couple years, stopped kind of writing stuff because talking was easy. And after a few episodes, about when we hit number 350 maybe, myself, Harrison also on the show, and Colin, who's not on the show, We formed a different podcast called Nintendo Voice, which we're still running today.
Awesome.
And I guess it's probably also worth mentioning, I did make a couple games for the Wii U. I don't have any games which I've announced yet, which I'm making. But yeah, I also do art on the side.
Nice. Well, you got to tell us what the game is now that you brought it up.
Now, the exciting Wii U game everyone is dying to play, Twisted Fusion.
Nice.
It is, I shouldn't talk about it in the past tense, it is a thing which still exists. It's a platformer game you can play with up to 5 people locally. There we go, Wii U Advantage. But it's kind of an open structure. It's a bit like Zelda 2, but also a bit like Cave Story and some other of my favorite types of platforming games.
I love Twisted Fusion, man.
Yes, highly recommended, and this is totally unbiased opinion.
Like,
awesome.
I remember when I was doing my review copy.
So there we go.
I love when I was in my review copy. I was like showing you Lewis all the stuff. I'm like, "Hey, Lewis, look at all what I did." And you're like, "Holy crap, no one's got that monster yet before." Like, "Holy, you're doing all this crazy stuff." And I'm like, "I know."
Well, we might as well get to Mike since you're talking here. So, Mike, what have you been up to? What are you doing tonight? What are you all about?
I am all about not dying in this haunted house. I'm not. I am not home right now. I'm on my phone at someone else's house. I'm pet sitting for the next week and a half. I joined Infendo like forever ago. I was a commenter. I was trolling forever. I was here through the really dark days of Infendo when like Blake was saying Nintendo was going to fail and Nintendo 3DS is going to go out of stock and everything for like $95 and whatnot. And then I trolled the forums when they came around again, and then Lewis was like, "Hey, come join our podcast. We're doing a Monster Hunter episode." And I'm like, "Okay." And then that kind of made the whole show for the next 5 years onto I've touched it.
Nice.
And then I did a stint on Nintendo Fever with Holly and Matt, and I've talked with Lewis every now and then. I've done Nintendo Voice with him for Twisted Fusion. We still haven't done our talked about pros and cons debate series we were talking about before when we decided to not do our rap contest.
It was spun off of the rap
freestyle contest that I totally destroyed you in.
Totally forgot about that.
You know I beat you.
It's archived.
If you want to square off tonight, Lewis, I mean, we have a whole show of people watching. We can.
Nintendo Rap Battle Live. Well, before we get to that, how are you doing tonight, Lucas?
Oh, I keep forgetting that I'm on a different spot for you. I wasn't expecting to go next. And I didn't think you would remember me at all, but I'm doing just dandy. Do I talk about my time with Infendo? Because it's not a very interesting story.
Hey, I mean, this is your time, baby girl. You do what you need to do.
Well, I feel like the thing I've learned from this is I'm like the only person who's ever been on the podcast who didn't start by writing articles. But I mean, I did my first podcast back with Mike and Holly. Were you there for Monster Hunter 1 or no? Did you just let me do it?
I forget completely.
No, the very first Monster Hunter podcast on Nintendo Fever was just Lucas and I, and then the second one was just as well, and then Steve came on Genesis for Pokemon. Holly wouldn't come join us because she wasn't good enough of a hunter.
Well, yeah, so I did that for a while. I wrote very sporadically with Nintendo Fever for a while and didn't really ever get much done there. And now I'm not getting much done at Infendo, but I'm the baby of the group since Steve couldn't be here.
You're the meme maker. You make all the good Photoshop.
Still hate him. That's true too. But
and all the remixes.
And like all 3 of them, but like in terms of actual like Infendo content, I've only been around for a few months. So hi everybody, I think you all know me if you're listening, but maybe not. Who knows?
Nice. Well, next up we've got Sean. How are you doing tonight, Sean? You are somebody that I remember interacting with early on with Infendo when I first started on.
Yeah, I've known you a long time. I think you were around when I was on my way out, and I think that I'm not the oldest Infendo person around. I think I'm the oldest Infendo person on this podcast. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Right. So I was the loud guy that hosted the podcast during like the 2008, no, maybe 2010. I don't know. No, yeah, 2010, 2009. Welcome back to Infendo Radio. I ramble on and never stop talking kind of guy. And so I started. There's a lot to go over, but I basically wormed my way into Infendo because of the podcast. In fact, my entire relationship with Infendo only exists because I listened to the podcast. I listened to it for a long time, and then one time, I think it was when David and Blake were hosting the show, or maybe no, David and Kyle were hosting the show way back in the day. They were saying, there's this awesome media event in San Francisco, and we really want to go. We want to go see the new Animal Crossing game, the new Conduit game, but we can't afford the airfare. And so it was like, I live near that city. And so I blind emailed him with like this really, I just read it like 10 minutes ago. It's an embarrassingly bad email. And I'm like, hey, I could go there. I'm a college student. I used to study journalism. Now I study film and stuff, but I can go if you want. And he's like, okay, we kind of don't have an option. You can go. And so I snuck in and started that way. And I don't know how I wound up doing the podcast. I think one day I was guesting and Kyle says, by the way, I quit. I can't do the podcast anymore. You're doing it. And I was like, well,
I guess so.
Let it be known. Let it be known from that anybody can do the podcast. All you have to do is just be here and like be in the chat and be like, I want to do it, and then you can come on.
And
it's also sort of, all you need is a little bit of organization, a little bit of enthusiasm. That's it.
So we're all screwed then.
There was a time when Infendo wasn't like 90% podcast and like 10% articles on a website. I guess there was a time when the articles actually mattered. So
yeah, now
that could be.
Well, it's been a while. If my post history is to go, and I was looking at my post history just now, everything except for 2 articles in the first 2 pages is nothing but podcast posts. So it's been a pretty podcast heavy site for a long time now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But my last
posting podcast, we're posting casino ads to try and make some server money.
For the sake of history, my last episode was 194.
Wow.
So that's how long ago I am.
Jeez. I just want to say, now that I've met you, I want to become the next you, the loudmouth, nonstop talking person. So if this show goes downhill, because I won't stop talking.
Just be as loud and enthusiastic and friendly as possible, and everyone will let you do anything they want for no reason, especially in Japan. I don't know why that is, but you get a lot of slack for being a loud white guy.
I think the perfect metaphor for the hosting gig for everybody on Infendo Radio from like 2005 up till now, it's just been one giant game of hot potato.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Well, I guess I
a little bit.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was saying just a little bit. It's hard to hard to do a thing every week, and life gets in the way, Sure. So the show evolves with new hosts. That's how life is.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Well, I guess I better give a little bit of a history of myself, I suppose. I actually joined in February of 2011 was my first post. So I've been here with Infendo for a little bit, and then I joined because actually Blake and Derek were running the podcast by themselves for a while I was writing for the site, and then they decided to stop the podcast for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why, and I asked Blake if I can bring it back up, and then I did. I contacted Essel and then Harrison, and then we kind of revigorated it for a while, and then I got tired of the, not having any answers from the old Infendo owner that Blake sold it to. So I left, and, Harrison and Lewis kept it going with Scott. And I believe Colin actually joined in after that. But anyways, and then I came back. I bought the website a few years ago, and here we are. So
I mean, it's coming from the perspective of the old crew. Eugene is sort of like the savior of Infendo's legacy in a lot of ways. Like we had the early days, which were really exciting when we were one of those big mainstay sites before everything changed, and then Blake's moved on. I think he had some kids or something, and he got another job, and he sold the site, and then just kind of you went into these dark ages. And at some point, I remember Will texting me. Will Thompson, who used to be on the podcast with me, he was really excited. He's like, Eugene's buying the site. Eugene's saving Infendo. He was really excited about it. He was like, and Eugene's the only person left there I trust, so I'm really happy.
Oh, shoot. Well, that's heartwarming. I didn't.
Well, yes. You managed to do what I failed to do, Eugene. There, I did attempt that back
Well,
in the day.
the only difference is that I waited until Infendo was like completely dead, like the vultures were circling, you know. And I basically told Daniel that I said, look, like there hasn't been a post since literally episode 350 when Lewis and everybody else left, and it's like 2 years past that now. So yeah, can I like buy this website? And he tried to sell it to me for like an astronomical amount. I was like, brah, nah. So yeah,
It's not worth it anymore.
Here we are.
Yeah, so thank you for preserving the site. I think there's still plenty of life left in the brand, and it's great to see the community. There's still a community of people who care about Nintendo and just being nerds here under the Infendo flag. It's just cool.
I'm going to pretend my ego is not the least bit hurt by the fact that you didn't ask me about any of my history with the site.
Well, you didn't tell me.
Oh, yeah. You skipped right over me.
We
Justin,
always skip
really,
over you. Justin, why don't you tell how we dragged you over to this?
Yeah, I was going to say, this is actually really not that much to tell. It's just, I'm just busting your balls because, I mean, I used to listen to the podcast when Lewis, Colin, and Harrison were hosting it. I'd listen to it at work. Then I started following you guys on Nintendo Voice and Twitter. Harrison tweeted something about Infendo was looking for writers. I emailed Eugene and sent him a sample article, and that's how I got stuck with the rest of them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No, that was like something like as far as quick hires or quick things, and they're like one of my first sites I used to write for was talking about games, and since the bad thing about that is because that changed servers, so about 3/4 of my articles and reviews were just gone. So that's the worst part of all the stuff. But when I sent in like, I forgot the name of the site. It was like something called like videogamewritersforhire.com, and it would just give an aggregate of all these different postings. And I just found one, and it was like my sophomore year of college. I need something to do, whatever, while I was studying journalism. So I posted it, and immediately, I sent in my resume and a bunch of my clips. I worked for the paper, and the guy responded, who I was good friends, still, I consider my a good mentor of sorts. He just said, when can you start? Really? No, I just saw you were studying journalism. I saw your stuff. You're good. And that was the same thing with Infendo. I wrote and I sent in a normal amount of stuff, and then the next thing you know it, whoever was owning the site, obviously at the time, I forget the guy's name, it was like, here's the password, here's everything, go make your profile, blah, 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 blah.
That's kind of my story, too. I sent Eugene a link to my blog, and he's like, okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Can you write me something else? I wrote him something else. Like, all right, you're on. Nobody else. The one other person who emailed you wasn't there. And
yeah, and I don't know where he went. Nate, you around?
You asked him to write something, and he bailed. I'm like, ooh, challenge accepted.
Right. Okay, but before we get too deep in the weeds on Infendo memories, we're going to pause it here. But stay tuned to the end of the show for some of us, hopefully most of us, and we'll, kind of talk a little bit more about that. But we actually have a pretty big feature for tonight's show. So let's get rolling with that. So tonight we have compiled a list, a huge list. Everybody has contributed. Thank you guys actually for contributing to the list of games that we have tonight. And what we're going to try and do is we're going to try
whoever put it in alphabetical order, you are my hero.
This guy. I had to download a plugin for Google Docs, but I got you. Anyways. So yeah, we're going to compile a list of 25 games that we think are the best games that have ever appeared on a Nintendo console, period. I believe that the last time Infendo did this, we did it on a podcast, and I believe Harrison and myself and Scott did it. Well, you were on that podcast, weren't you, Harrison?
Yes, I was. We were, I think it was the top 25 games that we did for that one. And so that was a bit of a long, arduous process over like 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah, definitely. So we're actually just going to do part 1 tonight. So we're going to try and get this list of, it's looking like 92 games, I believe, down to 25. And that's going to be fun. But here's the process how we're going to do it. So we're all going to go around in a little circle, the circle that I see y'all in on the bottom of my screen, because that'll keep it easy for me. And we're all going to, in the first round, pick a game that we think should definitely be on the list. If it's your favorite game of all time, or you just don't think that it should be cut, pick that game. And then that'll kind of give us a starting point. From there, on the second round, we are going to go and just butcher the list. The first person's going to pick 3 games to cut. We are either going to let them cut those 3 games, or we're going to discuss the cut if you don't agree with it. And then we'll move on to the next person until we have a list of 25 games. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So does anybody have any questions before we get started? Harrison, you're first on deck, just so you know.
Oh, jeez. So
I have one question. Sorry, Eugene. I tried to text you about this. I didn't want to interrupt the podcast. I got to drop out. I got to drop out for like 10, 15 seconds. Can you add me back in?
I sure can.
Thanks.
Okay. Harrison, did you have a question here?
So I'm just picking a game that I want. That's it.
Yep. This is a game that you want that to make the final 25 list. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to at the end of the day, but it's going to give us a starting point.
Well, for anybody.
Oh, you know what? Actually, let me. I forget that we are an audio show as well. Let me read this big old list before we get started.
Can we
Bro,
trade
serious?
off and have like a few of us read a few of them? Like, can we each do 10 so it doesn't get monotonous?
Y'all
I'm
hate
not
my
still
voice
adding
that
to the
much?
list right now.
Oh god.
I'm not adding to it.
Watch me just delete the list right there.
Oh, the number 1 game is Star Fox Adventures. Great list, everyone.
Envision a list of some really great games. And we'll work
So
with
I'm going to screen share my screen so then our listener or our visual listeners can have something to go off of. But I am going to read this list, and I'm just going to read it myself because I'm just going to read it fast. So bear with me here. So it's in alphabetical order right now, except for what some hooligan added to it. But
It's in alphabetical order. I was careful about that, and it was important to add.
Yeah, one of my tracks got removed from the list.
Okay. Well, fair enough. Well, let's go through this list, guys. Bear with me. So number 1, A Link to the Past. Then we have Animal Crossing New Leaf, ARMS, Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Bayonetta 2, Bit Trip Presents Runner 2, Future Legend of Rhythm Alien. I think somebody just made that one up.
It's a good game.
Bit Trip Saga, Bit Trip Complete, Bravely Default, Bravely Second, Brawl, Breath of the Wild, Chrono Trigger, Custom Robo, Donkey Kong Game Boy.
Well, wow, we just lost our host there for a second.
Okay, so it wasn't just me.
All right.
I was going to say,
And welcome back to Infendo Radio. We are now
anyone
taking
got
over the show.
Infendo Radio.
Illusions,
Always
Illusion of Gaia,
Oh, he's back.
Kirby Superstar Saga, Kirby's Adventure / Kirby's Dreamland, Kirby's Dream Course. We have Link's Awakening. We have Mario 64, Mario Kart 64, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Mario Maker, Mario Party 3, Melee. We have Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, Metroid Zero Mission, Metroid Other M. Not kidding. Metroid Prime, Minecraft Switch Edition, Monster Hunter Generations, Monster Hunter Tri, Ocarina of Time, Paperboy 3, Paper Mario 1000 Year Door, Perfect Dark, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney.
You're such a child.
Oh,
We have I lost my place. We have Paper Mario 1000 Year Door, Perfect Dark, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Pikmin 2, Pilot Wings, Pokemon Gold and Silver, Pokemon Gold. There's 2 of those, but there's a Brit version. We have Pokemon Puzzle League, Pokemon Red and Blue, Pokemon Sun and Moon, Pokken Tournament, Punch Out. Jesus, we're only at 65. We have Quicks. We have Resident Evil 4. We have Resident Evil Remake, Secret of Evermore, Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, Shovel Knight, Treasure Trove, Skyrim. Skyrim's not a Nintendo game yet. We have Skyward Sword. We have Smash 4. We have Sonic. We have Sonic Adventures 2 Battle, Sonic CD, Sonic Rush, Splatoon, Sonic Adventures, Star Fox. Oh God. We have trouble loading here because people are adding
it's Star
to the
Fox
list.
Adventures, not Sonic Adventure, by the way, for all our listeners who are listening to Eugene butcher this.
Star Fox Adventure, Star Fox 64, Street Fighter 2, Super Mario 3D Land, Super Mario 3D World, Super Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario Land 3, Wario Land. We have Super Mario RPG, Super Mario World, Super Metroid. We have Super Smash Brothers, the N64. We have Tetris, Tetris Attack, Time Splitters 3, Twilight Princess, Fusion, Wave Race, Wii Sports, Wii Sports Resort, Wii Fit, and hashtag blame Eugene. Thank God.
Is anybody going to tell him that he disappeared for about 15 seconds, or are we just going to let him figure it out for himself?
I told you, just let him figure it out.
Okay, so we did the list. I don't know what happened to my webcam. I'll figure it out. But so yeah, we're gonna go through the first round and pick a game that we think should be on the list. If you guys could just put a star by it when you pick it, and then that should keep things organized. So Harrison, you're up. What do you pick?
Instead of start, I'll just I'll bold it. If it seems like a better.
That works.
All right. So, and I'm going to use number 45 here, Metroid Prime. So there you go.
I like that about you. I like that about you.
Yeah, much arguments there. Which I've seen.
All right, Holly, looks like you're up.
Oh, I'm gonna go an obvious route as well and just pick Super Mario World. If anyone
Not a bad
argues with
choice.
that, I'm very disappointed in you.
I'm happy with that one.
I'm gonna argue with it.
You never played it.
Because I've never played it.
You can't judge a game you've never played.
You've never played Super Mario World?
You've never
had
played
it.
any Super Nintendo game. It's like the deprived kid in the group.
Never had a Super Nintendo.
I think you mean depraved.
Never had a virtual console.
There's Virtual Console on like 3 different Nintendo consoles. You gotta own one of them, dude.
But I don't want to buy $7, man. That's a lot of money.
$7 for like one of the best video games of all time.
I'm a broke
Doesn't seem
college
too
guy.
You can use that later.
Next.
All right, Justin, you are up. Hit me.
Was that me? Because my audio's cutting.
Yes,
Yep,
Justin.
You're up, Justin.
All right, we're picking one to keep, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the plan.
I'm gonna go with. I guess I'll go obvious too. GoldenEye.
All right. It's not a terrible choice there, Justin. All right, well.
That is the N64 GoldenEye, by the way, not the Wii GoldenEye.
Oh God, yeah. Good point.
Well, that was a good remake.
It was.
But probably not the best of 25.
Yeah,
It was a good Call of Bond.
sure. All right, Lewis, which one would you like to keep for the list?
All right. I see someone else might be hovering over it, but my first pick is Resident Evil 4.
Uh-huh. I like that.
Good game.
Recently, so it's quite appropriate. It still holds up.
And in my best voice, to whoever's next from the dealer in the game, what are you picking?
Yeah.
That was bad. That was a bad impression there.
A little more grovelly. Smoke a few more cigarettes and get back to me.
Yeah.
All right.
Like a grizzled Yoda voice.
You're a stranger.
All right, Mike, you're up. Which one would you like to pick?
Hold on, I'm having a computer. Everything's just I am picking Kirby's Adventure for the NES.
Okay. All right.
Someone's
Not a huge Kirby guy, but I'll allow it.
Man,
Allow it.
whatever.
You're very
you
generous this evening.
He's quite.
Okay, so that means you're up, Lucas. So which one would you like to pick to keep?
Oh, we're gonna have problems, Eugene. I'm going with my childhood favorite, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Oh God. We're gonna talk later, boy.
We're all gonna fight over who gets to remove that first, I think.
childhood.
Absolutely.
Childhood.
Yeah.
How old am I?
Well, I guess
Sonic's old he is.
maybe your pick will tell us which one, how old you are, Sean. Which one are you gonna
I'm
pick?
going for a teenage pick.
So did I.
We're doing Chrono Trigger because there is no finer JRPG on the face of this earth.
All right, I will allow it. Well, my pick then, since I am up, is my favorite game of all time. Maybe not the best game of all time, but hopefully it stays on the list, which is Illusion of Gaia.
Oh, also very good.
How disappointed were you that was not on the SNES Mini list, Eugene?
Oh my gosh, so sad. Like when I saw that that they were thinking about putting the Sword of Mana game is the one that made the list, right? So I was thinking that this would be a shoo-in, but I guess that's Enix. Anyways, Illusion of Gaia is Enix anyways. But
well, Nintendo published it here in the States.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Well,
it's just you could fill up a whole SNES menu with just Square and Enix games.
Yes.
Sure.
And they would charge you $15 per game instead of $4.
That's true. All right, guys. Well, it looks like we made it past the first round. Next round is going to be a little bit tougher because we're going to start cutting stuff, guys. So get ready to cry or to fight. Put your dukes up. I am going to leave it to Harrison, but I'm going to drop out of the call momentarily and try and come back in to see if it brings.
So I'm picking one to cut.
3.
Wait, I'm picking
also,
3.
just to check, are the ones we've just chosen safe from this, or are they also available to be cut?
They're safe for now. They're safe until we get down to the nitty gritty.
So I'm sacrificing 3 to the higher god of Hiroshi Yamauchi here. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. Well, looking at this list, oh dear. Am I just let's say erasing it, whatever. But how would I want to mark this exactly? Not bold.
Put an X next to it, maybe.
I'll put a star next to it. Oh dear, there's 3. You know what? I'm picking 3 out of this one. Jeez. So
no pressure or anything.
I'm gonna be very. Oh jeez.
What'd you kill? What'd you kill? I was gone. What'd you kill already?
I haven't killed yet. I'm killing.
You didn't kill anything yet.
No, I'm killing Gyromite, Home Alone 2, and why the heck is Home Improvement on here?
Listen to the podcast.
You're clearly not a listener.
Yeah, I'm not a listener. I just thought it was a joke, and then I don't know. I blacked out for a second. What?
No, we're dead serious about Home Improvement. Don't mess with Home Improvement.
Oh my God, why?
See, there were some traps left in it.
All right, that's my 3. Easy. There you go. Good luck to anybody else.
I'm sure the fact they're all next to each other had nothing to do with your decision making either.
Yeah, right?
I have no disagreement, so I guess that means we need to move on to Holly.
No.
Gotta kill something.
I'm sorry for any Super Smash Bros. Brawl fans, but I'm seeing Brawl on here and thinking all 3 Super Smash Bros. Are on here. And if any of them need to go, it's Brawl. I hate that game.
Okay.
Well, hate's
cool.
a strong word.
I agree with you.
Brawl's okay, but of the 3, it's the one we're gonna eliminate. I agree.
Geez, somehow I forgot about the original. Oh, the original's another one. Oh.
No, the original's excellent.
Okay, I haven't said that I'm deleting that one yet. Here, let me put my little star on here. Next to Brawl.
If we get to argue, I think you should take out the N64 instead of the Wii one.
Instead of Brawl.
Because
no,
I mean,
the N64 is the worst of the 4.
It was really
the first game has value.
And so it begins.
Brawl is an iteration of a previous version. 64 is a wholly unique idea. It has more value.
That's why it needs to be on the list. It has value. It has purpose.
Home Improvement was an original idea when it was a game.
Is it an original game that spawned a phenomenon? Because the original
Yes. Have you listened to it?
Yes, I was the way around with Home Improvement.
See, but I feel like, and let me just chime in here as one of the younger members of the group here. I feel like if we make that an argument point, we're going to be keeping all of the NES games and none of the modern games. And there are modern games on this list that I think deserve to be in the top 25 spot.
Sure, but there's a difference. There comes a difference with older and newer versions that of a kind of preference. Well, Melee is faster, so it's better. Whereas, if I was gonna put them both, I might even put both of those on the list. But I mean, I'm a person that really likes Smash 64 because I'm crazy. But
I mean, I like all of them.
I agree with Sean. So
yeah, I mean, I like all of them, but I think Brawl gets a lot of unnecessary flack because I mean, it was the biggest one. There was so much you could do on it. You could make your own levels. That was the first time. Yeah, online was broken, but it was there.
It was a thing.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to die on that.
Basically, arguing whether to say 64 when it's not even on the list here.
No, I've got other hills to die on if you really want to kill this one.
And it's not even on there to kill, is it?
Holly, what do you say?
Let me see it.
What do I say?
Yeah,
There's only room for 25 games on this list, and we cannot have 4 Super Smash Bros. On the list. I know. For some reason, I'm going to keep calling it Broses. Another one that I would take off is Mario Party 3.
Oh,
I think there are better Mario parties.
Oh, there are not. There are not better Mario parties.
Yes, thank you. Two is better.
Numero Dos is the only good Mario Party game, I swear.
No. But we'll come back to that. Me and Mike will save that one later.
Have I just
has a secret love for game guy.
Have I just picked 2 games that Lucas added to the list? I'm sorry.
The best Mario Party games are 3, 4, 7, and 10.
Yeah, I don't even know that I've played
No,
them all,
it's like Star Trek. The even ones are the best.
Whatever.
I would say that. I liked 8OK. I didn't.
Oh.
Holly, you were Bizarro World or something.
Well, hold on. The number rule doesn't count after the original series movies. Then it's just a mess.
I'm trying to find a third game.
Yeah.
So she's cutting Brawl and Mario Party. Okay.
Oh my heavens, this is too hard.
Sonic's CD on a Nintendo system?
No, it was maybe on a collection, probably, that got...
Maybe.
Well, I think I'm going to continue making the hard choices and say Super Mario 3D Land needs to be taken off here as well.
That's fair.
Let's get into a quick debate.
There are better Mario.
About 3. No. So one of the 3D World/Land games needs to go, but it might be the Wii U one.
It is most definitely not. All right, debate over. Good.
Did you play both? Because the Wii U one, great game, much worse level design.
I don't think so,
I have to go with Sean on this one, especially with the argument he gave for Smash. 3D Land was the first Mario game of that kind, plus it showed off the 3D of the 3DS really well.
No.
I also very firmly believe that the design was better overall. Much more interesting design, much more clever design. 3D Land, 3D World did lots of great 3D World multiplayer. Lots of fun. Lots of great costumes. Overall, the levels I feel are weaker though.
I just like on a personal level.
3D World is whether you enjoy, co-op games. If you play through 3D World primarily as a co-op game, I think you would find that favourable to Land. I think it's as simple as that. Whereas if you played them both purely solo experiences, you probably said Land was a better quality. So, yeah.
Sounds like we're going to have an easy time getting this list down to 25, right?
I played both games by myself, and I vastly preferred World over Land. Like I can't. No. This is not up for debate. This is my personal opinion. I enjoyed World more than Land.
Is wrong.
Well, Lucas and I agree on that at least.
Weren't you arguing for Home Improvement? So how valuable is
how valuable is your opinion? Oh, roasted.
I've got Holly on my side now.
How about I suggest a radical amendment and we take out both of the 3D Super Mario games in favor of Galaxy? Sorry, Mike.
Oh, but I hate Galaxy more than I hate 3D.
We haven't gotten through one cycle yet.
This is gonna be rough.
Someone had to make the hard choices. 25 out of our 90 some odd game list here.
All right, what do people hate more? 3D Land or Galaxy? And don't even think about World, because that's clearly off the table. Galaxy for me.
People are enjoyable.
Wait, are we asking what we want to? Are we asking what we want to keep, or which one we hate more?
Exactly.
Which one we want dead?
Of the two, it'd be 3D.
I think the conversation needs to be at this point, which Mario games are going to make the list? Because we can't have 10, right?
I can think of...
For me, Mario 64 makes the list no matter what, right?
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Mike.
Breaking the rules of the system here, but yeah.
Thank you.
So
64
it just kind of feel like we've gone off the rails here.
I think at most we can probably say that 2 Mario games are completely safe. In my opinion, Mario 64 and I don't know, something else. But you know, like I think it's
where is Sunshine on this list?
Let's see. The chat is voicing opinions here. We've got Michael Thompson saying he thinks Brawl is better than Melee. And we got, oh God, I'm never going to try to pronounce that. Kyudai 06.
Kyudai.
Kyudai.
Okay, I was
Hey,
close.
Kyudai. Thanks for tuning in.
All right. 3D Land is not nearly as good as Galaxy, and
they both suck.
I don't know. They're kind of apples and oranges. Galaxy is awesome, might be completely safe, but it's better than 3D Land. Andrew Searson says so.
I don't know if it's better than 3D Land.
I think the consensus seems to be Galaxy is better than 3D Land. I think they're both better than 3D World.
Let's see, you're wrong.
Tell you what,
so,
I think we need to let Holly cut what she needs to cut. But
Yeah, right.
The only reason that we don't let her cut it is if we're going to put that game in bold, and then that's a larger discretion. Okay, if that makes sense.
That's fair.
Okay.
All right, so Holly, get to cutting.
Get to cutting.
My argument.
So I can just go ahead and add my star.
Go kill it. Yeah, just do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let us know what it is, because again, we're on a podcast.
Super Mario, my game to cut was Super Mario 3D Land. I sure wish that I had gone in here and added Galaxy. Why didn't I do that?
Oh, I am so happy.
Oh, is Galaxy not on here? Oh,
No.
Not on here.
Yeah, just for a minute there, I was thinking, like, I feel like I have no support for Galaxy over here right now. I mean, I think it has to be on the list.
Because you don't.
I'm totally for removing both 3D World and 3D Land in exchange for keeping Galaxy.
Well, then I'm removing Galaxy. So
there's
you
two
know,
votes
like...
for that, which
Hey,
is a
you know what?
miracle in itself. So let's do it.
Let's just,
Tell you what, Galaxy never made the list initially, so clearly y'all didn't care about it that much. Is what I gotta say.
I think we all assumed somebody else either had already or was going to add it.
Yes, because the list was not always alphabetical.
That's true.
All right, so if we're going to add Galaxy, the only way we're going to do that is if we're going to bold it, guys. And I don't think that that's a boldable game for me.
I'm voting to cut it as soon as I get on. So, like,
If we're going to cut Galaxy, then we're cutting most of the Super Mario games.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
How is Sunshine not on here either?
I just said that. How come no one listens to me?
You said that like 3 minutes ago. It's an eternity.
All right, Holly, what are your 3 games?
I think I marked the other 2.
But you tell us what they are, though, so for our
Oh,
audience.
yeah. I did not mark Mario Party 3. So Mario Party 3... Oh, I might not have marked the other one. Oh, Brawl. I did mark Brawl, actually. Mario Party 3, Brawl, and Super Mario 3D Land.
Okay.
And since everyone hates World as well, then, I mean, we can just kill 2 birds with 1 stone and cut World right now. Let's just do it.
No, let Justin do that and use up one of his turns, because I don't trust Justin's opinion anyway.
I really have a hard
time. What?
I really have a hard time believing any of the Holy Trinity from the SNES not being on this list. That is egregious to me.
What is the Holy Trinity of SNES?
Can I
Super
guess?
Mario World, A Link to a Past, and Super Metroid.
Yep.
Super Mario World is on the list. Super Metroid is on the list. In fact, we bolded Super Mario World.
Yes, it's good.
And I think A Link to the Past is on the list too.
Definitely, I know I added it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry, we're good. We love. It's the first one. It's number 1.
I think things will take their course. I think we'll have some good games by the end of this.
All right, so Holly, are you all done?
Yep.
All right.
Marked my 3.
Oh, God.
I'm back. I got frozen. What did I miss?
Not much. We're waiting for you to announce who's going next.
Yeah. I was completely lost.
Sorry. What did you decide to cut, Justin? Or are you next? Or have you already cut? What we doing here? I lost it.
You're hosting. I don't know.
Oh my God! It's Justin's turn. He hasn't cut yet. Justin,
all right,
go.
Justin, get it.
Oh, okay. It's my turn. Oh God, what am I cutting? All right. I am... Mike, I'm going to make you cut your own stupid answers. You're cutting off your own limb on that one.
What are you talking about?
I am going to cut... Oh, this is tough because either I love them or I've never played them. That's pretty much the whole list for me. Which wave race is this referring to? Is that
64?
Okay.
Because I believe in the originals being on here, not the sequels.
I am going to cut Wii Fit Plus because I'm still fat.
That's perfect reasoning.
I'm cutting Pokemon Puzzle League because we already have Tetris Attack on here.
No.
Because we already have Tetris Attack on here. We cannot have 7 different Puyo Puyos.
It's not even Puyo, it's Panel de Pon, jerk.
Panel de Pon. My apologies.
I think it's happening, Mike. I don't think you're gonna win this argument.
And
I could push the defense, but that's about it. I feel
it brought Panel de Pon to a whole new set of fans of Pokemon. Like,
I mean, the thing is, I like it too, but like, I don't want to bold it. So,
yeah,
you know.
I mean, if there's a chance that one of the Panel de Pons is going to stay, do you guys think that Pokemon is better or Tetris is better?
Tetris Attack is better.
Pokemon for me.
All right.
I'll go with Tetris.
Well, screw it. I'm sticking with my answer then. Pokemon Puzzle League, and I had a third one, and then I lost it. Where was it? What was it? Brain fart.
Are you marking these, by the way?
No,
not.
I thought Eugene was deleting them as we were going along. Bravely Second.
No, we're putting a star next to them.
All right.
Yep.
I got that.
Okay.
Bravely Second because I don't think it's been around long enough to have built up a reputation to make it one of the best ever.
And yet we have ARMS on the list, and I'm ready to die for that game. So. I
have no opinion on that game. So I will let you all fight that one out.
All right, fair enough. So
well, if we take Bravely
looks...
Second out, we may as well take Bravely Default out. The ending to Bravely Default is so bad, so bad. I have Bravely Second, but I actually haven't had a chance to play it, unfortunately. But someone tell me that it's better than Bravely Default, at least.
I've never played either, so I can't really.
I've still not played the second, or they still.
Supposedly, the second one at least fixed the huge problem that the first one had. So maybe we should just take both games off.
Let's let people play for free.
Yeah.
Okay, who's next?
Well, looks like Lewis is up, so get to cut.
Me? Okay. Cool. Well,
I hope you cut your own
as
game.
I snuck it in. Yeah, that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to cut Twisted Fusion from the list.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I am tremendously proud, and no one else cut it before me. What else have we got here? I'm going to cut one of the Pikmin games because I see 2 of them on here, and I love Pikmin as a franchise, but I don't think we can have more than one in this list.
Agreed.
And so I'm going to have to give it to the original. 2 is cool. It's got the caves. It's a bit more lenient. You can explore around a bit more because you don't have that big time constraint. But I think it lost a little bit of its identity. I did like that original game. Yeah, those 30 days, and that was it. So yeah, I'm gonna kill Pikmin 2. Someone fights me.
No, I'm cool with that.
No, I totally agree. Pikmin's better. So, you know.
Cool.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Nice.
That was super smooth.
Yeah.
That was just
that's how we do it, kids. And next up,
I'm trying to be good
it's going to be cool. This might be a bit more trickier. Banjo-Tooie.
It's fair.
No,
Maybe not as
I
tricky.
agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Kazooie's better.
Very cool game, but I think Kazooie's a better game. And in terms of like 3D platformers and stuff, there's a lot of good representation here.
Agree.
Sure.
which I think is better than Tui. But yeah, Tui's cool. But
Nice.
all right, so it is, and that is free marked.
Awesome. Well, I think that means that you're up, Mike. So what do you want to cut?
Oh God.
Well, real quick, why is Skyrim back on the list? Like, Skyrim's not even a Nintendo game yet.
I
That needs
put
to
it
go.
on the list because it's going to be on a Nintendo system. I thought it was fair game,
doesn't-
and it's a really good game. So
Yeah,
like,
but that's not fair. Like, that's like saying Mario Odyssey should be on the list because we know it's going to be good because it's Mario.
But people can already play Skyrim. It's
Right,
a little
but
bit
that doesn't
different
mean
from
the
Odyssey.
Switch version is going to be good. It could be
But it's gonna
incredibly
be the
glitchy,
exact same thing.
unless it doesn't work.
I mean, cut it if you don't want it. That's fine, but I think it deserves to at least be on the list.
I don't know. I kind of want to cut 4 now because Skyrim's on the list.
I don't think Skyrim qualifies, but I think it was a nice honourable mention.
All right.
Skyrim is very cool, but it's not a Nintendo game yet.
All right.
But it's cool that it's going to be, though.
I'm sorry, Lucas. I can't agree with you on everything, Lucas. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. You're not going to like some of my cuts, so you know.
You better watch. I know. I don't want to know what you're thinking. Get the hell out of my house.
All right.
First game I'm cutting is Pokemon Sun and Moon because it's we don't need Pokemon Sun and Moon on here.
It's good, but not the best.
No,
Okay.
like and everything else we don't need it. I'm gonna cut. Is anyone gonna fight me if I cut Mario Maker? I want to cut Mario Maker.
I might find me.
I don't care.
Mario Maker is
Yeah.
a very good game.
No, I
It
think
is,
that's fair.
Very good.
Yeah,
It's good if you want to
okay
have
with
fun
it.
for you, but as far as
Mario Maker is as good as the people who create for it. So
And there's some fantastic people creating stuff in Mario Maker, trust me.
And then there's me who can't make a damn thing.
Things, I just play people's creations and it's great. Just put it on like shuffle basically and get all these weird and wonderful things. I just check out every other month sort of thing.
bye, Eugene.
And I'm constantly surprised what's going on in Mario Maker.
Yeah, but I feel like the argument with Mario Maker is like you can either have Mario Maker or you can have any of the other 2D Mario games, and like objectively, I would rather play like World than Mario Maker. You know? Like,
Yeah.
I think you could hypothetically have, Mario World and Mario Maker on the same list.
yeah.
Okay, well,
In
you
terms
know
of how
what?
you play them.
You know what? I'm gonna hold off on Mario Maker because I want to cut both Bit Trip games because I don't like them.
Go ahead.
I don't either.
You don't like them, or just not like them enough.
I just don't like them. It's
Fair
not my
enough.
kind of game.
Same here, yeah. So
I like them, but
I have no
I mean, they're good. They're good games. I'm not going to argue that. But in a world of Animal Crossing and Arms and Banjo and Bayonetta and Bravely Default and like Bit
I'm
Trip
with you
Runner
there.
doesn't hold a candle to everything else on its list.
yeah, agreed.
Agreed. Yeah, good games, but yeah.
Okay, so my three are Bit Trip Runner, whatever that name is, Bit Trip Saga, and what else did I cut? I don't even remember anymore. Sun and
Mario
Moon,
Maker?
Pokemon. Pokemon
Oh.
Sun and Moon. Mario Maker stays on until someone else can cut it.
All right. Does that mean I'm up next, or is that what we've been doing?
is Eugene gone?
Anyone? Yeah, Eugene is gone. Okay, I'm just gonna go with it. I'm gonna use some of my modern Infendo power to say that I'm going next. So let's see. Kirby's Dream Course. I hated that game. It's getting cut.
No.
Oh, it was so bad. Okay, let's have a discussion about why a terrible golf version of Kirby shouldn't be cut. Is there strong support for this game across the board? Like,
Not really.
I need to check before I get to it. Are there any other Dream Course fans out here? Or is it just me?
I mean, I'm fine with it, but I don't think it's meant for top 25.
So I didn't put it on the list. Who put it on the list? I'm guessing Eugene, maybe?
I hate to argue
Eugene,
with
did you
someone who has an accent as wonderful as yours, but I think I gotta cut it. Like,
What? I need to check. Eugene, did you add Dream Course on the list?
I don't know about that game.
Oh, he did. I didn't do it.
all right.
It's a mystery.
Well, it's maybe it was Steve.
Oh, fair
I don't
enough.
know.
If there's no one else to champion it, fine. I was hoping there would be.
we're cutting Dream Course then. It's just
All right.
it is what it is. I'm gonna listen to Mike and Holly's input here, but I'm taking Monster Hunter Try off the list in favor of Generations.
No.
Hear me
In
out.
favor of Generations, huh?
Yes.
No.
I like
Hear me
4
out here.
Ultimate.
Hear me. Well,
The
4
live
Ultimate
chat
isn't
looks
even on the
good.
list, so it's
I
between
know, but
Try
I'm
and
sad about
Generations.
that.
All right,
Well,
I know
you
Mike
should've put it
has
on the
his
list, Holly.
nostalgia. Mike has his nostalgia for 3. I think Generations is just objectively better. There's a ton more to do. It's
Yes,
a more fun
but-
game. I've put more time into it. I want to cut Try in favor of Generations. We can't have 2 Monster Hunter games on the list.
Yes, well, Generations can go because Generations is great, but Try was the first one to come on to Nintendo console, and
Yeah, but that
therefore
doesn't-
it is more important.
I don't think
That
first.
doesn't no.
is
See,
really-
that argument doesn't hold water, and we can't keep using that argument every time we're going to cut a game. We can't keep saying,
Yes, I
because
can.
the
I'm
game
going
came
to
out
use it.
first, that makes it better, and that it needs to stick around when there's clearly better games out there. Like, and,
How about the
and
argument
it's-
it came with a bundle
Well,
of a red classic controller? For
Yeah.
Oh god.
Well, if you want something that's first and everything, how about one of the first ever games on there, like Radar Scope? I mean, that was really bad, but still, it was a colossal failure. Yeah, that could go on there, but no.
I mean, isn't Monster Hunter Try the 3rd game anyway? So it's like not even the first one by default.
Yeah, it's just the
Eugene,
first
where'd
one
you
in
even come
Nintendo
from? You don't even
system.
like Monster Hunter, Eugene. Go away. You don't even play with us.
I'm objectively I'm going with Try here. If we have large group support against it and we want to argue this case, I'm willing to argue it. But I think Generations is just objectively a better game. I know Steve agreed with me because Steve put Generations and you kept changing it on the list to Try. So like I knew this was coming, but I want to see Generations make top 25, and I don't think you can do that.
Okay.
I'm on Mike's
Alright, there.
side. I'll just say that because I'm kind of the other Monster Hunter crazy person around here.
Yay,
Yeah.
Holly! Yay!
So what do I do, guys? Do I not delete either of them yet, or do I just go with what I want to do? Like, what's
Cut 'em
the,
both.
what's the
Delete.
consensus?
Just delete Try for now. I honestly think both of them may end up being cut.
Don't
from the
delete.
final
Don't
list.
delete. Cut. We don't.
All right. Well, I'm cutting Try for peer review at a later
Cutting.
date. Okay, so I have one more game that I need to cut, and I am looking at the list, and I'm not going with Quicks because that's obvious.
I like that game.
I'm not going with Sonic Rush because that's obvious.
Why are we doing the obvious ones?
I'm going with Twilight Princess. It's my least favorite Zelda game, and I'm hoping that it's most of the groups too, because there are better Zelda games out there to play.
See, I don't
Yeah,
want to.
that's-
I don't want to agree with you because I hate you right now. But yeah, I agree.
That one's gonna be my pick.
Yeah, well, I'm cutting Twilight Princess unless
Okay.
the group decides to murder me over that one. So-
I agree. I actually added it to the list as Eugene was reading the list out loud, and just because I thought like maybe somebody likes Twilight Princess. There were better games that I could have.
Yeah,
I know
it's
that-
not the best Zelda game by any stretch. It's good. It is a solid Zelda game. It's not the best.
Well, I'm
I
expecting a
agree.
lot of my favorites to get cut. Like, I'm expecting Other M isn't going to make the list. I'm expecting Skyward Sword isn't going to make the list. Those are my favorite games of their respective series, but I don't think they're going to make it. I don't think Twilight Princess is the best Zelda game either. So, like,
Right.
you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, those are my three. Twilight Princess, Monster Hunter Try. Mike isn't going to spend any time with me anymore. And what did I pick first? Dream Course. So I also completely lost Lewis's favor there. I'm just losing support left and right.
Furious on the live chat. At
Yeah,
least
I've just got Game of Thrones level proportion here. So, you know, do what it is.
Lewis will remember this.
Fully expecting it.
That's amazing. All right, Sean, you are on the chopping block. Well, you're not on the chopping block, but the games are. So
Me
give us
personally, I love that there's all this really hot debate here about what games to keep, and yet Star Fox Adventures is just sitting there. I'm not cutting it because I've never played it and I don't feel qualified to judge it. But I'm just surprised.
Okay.
I've heard so many negative things. I do.
It's a good game if you turn the volume off.
What I like about it is there's a whole group of people on a community of people trying to recreate the vision of the original game, going back and creating art and want to create the story of Dinosaur Planet, whatever it was going to be. But that's unrelated. I want to cut a couple of things that may be contested. I kind of want to cut both Wii Sports games because Wii Sports is important. It's a very important part of Nintendo history. But when I think about the best 25 Nintendo games that I'm going to go back and play and really appreciate as the best things they ever put out, do I really think that's the best of Nintendo's work? That really represents the best of what they do? And when I think about that, I think the answer is no. I think they're important. I think they're influential. I think they matter. I don't think they're the best.
Agree.
I agree.
I think I'm going to get outnumbered here, so I'm going to say my piece either way. I'll make it short. Agree with your points, but I feel that Wii Sports and Resort hasn't been replaced yet. I don't think there's like a Nintendo game you can go to replicate the experience of Wii Sports. And every now and again, and I know I'm definitely of the minority here, that I will play Wii Sports in this day and age, or most like Wii Sports Resort. Because it's good. But I mean, like until they make like a Switch equivalent, or but it was terrible. I do think there's a very special place for that because it's a game of simplicity, but it is just genuine fun.
Right, like
I've got to go with Lewis on this one. I think Wii Sports deserves to stay on at least until it has to go, because I mean it was a game changer. It was completely original. It's like I still play it, so it's still fun to play today.
I agree that's still good, but like
I want to point out the fact real quick that Justin cut Wii Fit because he's so fat, but he won't cut a sport game even though he's so fat.
Because it doesn't pretend to make me healthier.
Everybody that was playing that game at first was like, "Oh, I'm playing sports in my living room. I'm going to lose weight." Like
Wii Fit calls me obese. Wii Sports just let me be.
None of that's wrong. I guess my perspective on it is I foresee it being cut by the end of the list. So I'm like thinking, why not eliminate it now? Holding it because it is important. Just to be cut later isn't important. So if you don't think it's going to make the final cut, we might as well just cut it now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
See, I'm going to agree because of the voices I've just heard.
Right.
I could see it in a top 25 easily, but not this one, unfortunately. For me, at least.
Sure.
Well, I mean, like it also depends on like what perspective you're taking on like on how we're doing cuts. A lot of these are really tough. I'm probably gonna get more flack for this one. I also kind of want to cut Skyward Sword, but mostly just because I never finished it. It's the Zelda game that never held my attention.
I'm okay with that.
I enjoyed the game, but I'm fine with cutting it. I'm fine.
Yeah, it's my favorite, but I know it's not everybody's.
Right,
and
like,
objectively, there's better Zeldas.
I mean,
you know.
that's the argument. Like with Zeldas, we're gonna have. If we have two, we might be pushing it.
Well, yeah,
but
you know it's going to come down to Ocarina of Time and Link to the Past, most likely.
Yeah,
like,
and
then we're going to have that debate.
The thing is, those are so different. We're not to that debate yet. But you could make the argument for both because they're not similar.
Especially as Nintendo 25 list.
Whereas if you were trying to argue like Ocarina, this is an obvious choice. But if you're trying to argue Ocarina versus Majora or Princess, those have similar things. Not Princess. Yeah, Princess. Twilight Princess. Those are similar in ways. Let's see. There's got to be one other on here I can do. I don't want to take too much time. It's so hard to choose because what we really have here is a list of things that I all appreciate in one way or another. So like every cut kind of hurts, even if
yeah.
Like I don't want to be the guy making the choice between the two Donkey Kong countries.
Well, thank God Steve's not here.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
But I am.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, well, not to lead anyone, but there are technically three. Oh no, I misread it. I thought there was an entry for Donkey Kong Country on the Game Boy, but no, that is a very different game.
And I'm gonna do one more attempt at a hard cut, just because I think GoldenEye is gonna outlive Perfect Dark, and we don't need both.
Yeah.
Even though I felt like Perfect Dark did improve a lot of what GoldenEye has done, even though it's different modes and even a kind of going to more of an original story out there, GoldenEye to me is more important.
Right, like GoldenEye has this, and whether fair or not, GoldenEye has this pedestal of like greatest games. When you think of the N64 era, that comes to mind immediately. And Perfect Dark, like again, probably improved on it, especially with the expansion pack features and other things it did. But like when you think of the top, when you think of what you want on an N64 classic that's never going to exist, you think GoldenEye, and then you realize that's never going to happen. So you're going to get Perfect Dark.
Well, and didn't Justin put GoldenEye like in his like cemented perfection game list anyway? He just didn't bold it because Justin isn't editing the list. But
sorry, I'm doing it on my phone, so it's a little trickier to keep up.
Yeah, mine's also hard for that. Yeah. Now, while we got GoldenEye on topic, that game didn't age well. But if you want the GoldenEye experience, there is a source mod that is basically GoldenEye multiplayer on a modern PC. It's amazing.
It is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It's my favorite now.
I think I added Perfect Dark, and if we're pretty sure GoldenEye is staying to the top 25, I'm okay with letting Perfect Dark go because, like Harrison said, it did improve on a lot of things, but it was like it just kind of missed the mark a little bit.
And with that, before we circle around again, I might actually have to duck out because I have some other things to do. But it's been amazing being back with you guys. So I'm going to have to go. And I have to go because one of you guys is going to cut Secret of Evermore, and I don't want to be around for that.
I don't even know what it is.
Wait, Sean. No, what, Sean? What was that?
That's why you're going to cut it. Nobody knows.
Sean,
what is this?
No, Sean, what were you saying? I was here sharpening my knife right now to take out some certain games.
Hey, Gene, there's a request in the chat to try and get the list up on the YouTube.
Sure, I'll put it. I'll just screen share. I'll screen share. I'll only be able to screen share like a part of the list at a time, but that'll work.
That's a good question.
Sean,
before I run, does everyone here not know what Secret of Evermore is?
Oh no, I played it. It's not making the list though.
I know you're probably not. I just want to make sure at least someone here knows what it is and knows probably why I'm into that. Anyway, what were you saying, Shane?
I was saying I played it, but it's probably not going to make the list on this episode, on this podcast, unfortunately, especially with you guys.
If Secret of Mana isn't on here, Evermore has no choice. It's no hope.
Sure. But Sean, I wanted to give you one last opportunity to tell us who you are, what you're all about, where we can follow you online, all that fun stuff. And thank you for being on the show. Like, really, thank you. It's been great.
I'm happy to be back. I only wish I had more time. So I'm Sean Buckley. I am a not quite original second-generation Infendo podcaster and writer, but these days you can find me writing about video games, and I just put up a Splatoon 2 review on Engadget.com. I like to call myself a freelance writer and wannabe YouTuber. So you can also find me talking about video games and Disney stuff. I'm making a lot of weird DuckTales videos recently on youtube.com/Shaunicus. That's Shaunicus, 2 C's, SEANICCUS. You can find me there everywhere. That is Twitter, Facebook, Nintendo, whatever you want.
Nice. Awesome. Well, thank you again for being on the show. You've been great. There's always a seat open for you if you want to return. So yeah, don't be a stranger.
Yeah, cheers, guys, and have a great time destroying my dreams with this list.
Pleasure to meet you. Have fun.
Yep, see you all on that internet.
Yep,
nice.
Pleasure to meet you.
Catch you soon.
See you, Sean. All right.
Bye.
Well, that means that it looks like we have completed our first cycle.
What about you, Eugene?
There's only a few tiers, I guess. Holly had the brunt of it. She was trying to kill Breath of the Wild on the first round. I don't know
Eugene
why.
didn't cut anything. What the hell?
I was going to say, Eugene, you didn't take a turn.
Oh, yeah. I guess I got to do some of that cutting stuff, don't I?
we need an opportunity to argue with you.
Well, I guess I better get cutting then. And I apologize for you guys in the Hangout because I am having terrible internet. So you guys are probably going to have a hard time hearing everything I'm saying. But I'm going to try and find 3 games that I want to cut. This is going to be tough. Okay. I see one that sticks out right away. I'm going to take the easy one and cut Paperboy.
Wow, you take like literally the no effort game. Like it's not even a real game. You are killing Infendo lore and Infendo like
you are killing Independent George.
Well, I'm gonna kill Lucas on this next one because Sonic has no business being on this goddamn list. So I'm gonna cut at least 2 Sonic games with my next pick. Lucas, fight me.
No, actually, Eugene. Eugene, the joke's on you because despite thinking Sonic CD is the best 2D Sonic game, I still think Sonic Adventure 2 is a better Sonic game. So I was going to cut CD myself, but be my guest, do it.
Oh, I'm not just
I would
cutting
rather
CD.
see CDs survive, honestly, but neither of them should. So
I'm cutting CD and Sonic Rush because
Sonic Rush is a terrible game.
I have guilty pleasures for Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, and Sonic CD is pretty cool.
Thank you. I feel like we hate each other, but we could be friends in a parallel universe, and that's
Exactly.
all that matters.
And what may help this out, the Chow Garden in Adventure 2 was one of the big inspirations for having a little monster raising thing in Twisted Fusion.
Yeah, I like that.
Nice. All right, well then that is my 3 cuts. Now we have finally circled back around after I forgot myself. Harrison, looks like you're up. You've got some tough choices to make here.
Well,
This is another round of cutting, I guess.
or is this a round of keeping?
that's we're not cutting, it seems.
Yep, more cutting.
All right.
We don't keep anymore. We only cut.
Well, I'm gonna cut. Cutting out here. I'm gonna cut Pokken Tournament just because it's too soon out that one.
I can see that.
I'm also going to cut Wave Race and and Time Splitters 3 because I like 2 better. 2 was my. So I wash my hands of this.
I'm not gonna fight you on any of those, but Mike might with Brave Face. It sounds like
You finished last and got no points. Try again next time.
I actually prefer Blue Storm, oddly.
64 is better than Blue Storm, in my opinion.
Yeah.
In most people's, it is. But oddly, the 2 sport games I prefer the cube iterations of. But anyway.
I
Leave it
agree.
there.
I can't play 64, but I think Blue Storm is amazing. So, you know.
I think
Yeah,
Blue
yeah.
Storm looks amazing. I think
Oh,
6
look.
plays better.
Well, no, Blue Storm
Disagree.
3, which I do own, it did not. I think it was lacking as far as courses and even characters to pick, whatever in that one. So that was mine.
Cool. That was
Oh, man.
So, Holly, then.
Oh no! Oh, well, I have an idea. I don't know where Steve is right now, but Hyrule Warriors Legends. He'll kill me, but
I'll
I don't know if any of
defend
you
you.
guys will.
I'll defend you because I don't care for those games.
It's honestly one of my favorite games of all time, but I don't think it belongs on the top 25 list. So
Yeah, the Wii U one I love, but it's a guilty pleasure. It's definitely not a best game ever.
I mean, like, it's like probably my 3rd favorite game of all time. But like, again, I don't know if it belongs on a top 25 list, so I'm not going to push the issue here. Go ahead and cut.
Okay. What was the other one? Donkey Kong on the Game Boy?
Agree.
Man, Steve is not
Is
going to
that
talk to
great?
you anymore.
That
Disagree.
is- Who has played Donkey Kong in the game?
There are
I
better
almost
Donkey
wanted-
Kongs on the list.
I don't know. That one's like wholly unique.
I just wanna make
It's
sure we all
the-
know what
it's
this
the
game
advent
is.
of the triple jump. So
That was a pretty darn good
A
puzzle
lot
platformer
of
there.
Mario 64's moves came from this game.
yeah.
Oddly. But do what needs to be done?
All right. I thought Lewis was going to back me up on this one. I guess since I'm the only one fighting for this, sorry, Steve, I can't uphold our battle
It's
here.
more of an honorable mention type thing. I didn't think I'd win the fight, but it deserved, not just a silent, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, we're all seeing our favorite things destroyed on this list. So we just gotta
Yeah,
go.
but your favorite things suck.
400.
Yeah, I'm getting nothing out of this but heartbreak anymore. I'm just going to leave. I'm going back to work.
Don't worry, it's only going to get much more worse.
Well, I know someone was not kidding about this one, but I feel like Other M really needs to go.
You know, my
And
opinion,
fast.
my opinion of that
Yeah.
game aside, and even though I feel like the vitriol geared towards it, whatever, is a bit much. It has no business sniffing around the top 25.
Yeah, it's just an average game, you know. It's I don't think it deserves all the hate that it gets, but It
It's
just
top 25, yeah.
exactly. So
I
Yeah.
disagree, but we're a
There are
group,
definitely better
so-
Metroid games on the list.
mhm.
Well, not on this list, but again,
No, I
disagree.
All
Metroid:
of it-
Return of Samus. Samus Returns, the one that hasn't come out yet, kind of like Skyrim.
Yeah.
Except,
AM2R?
well, actually, yeah, people have been able to play that.
You've
Still
lost
doesn't really
us.
work.
I do have a copy of I do have a copy of another Metroid 2 remake, AM2R, but I have a Mac, so
That's Justin's
There's-
problem.
There is a Mac version of it. I mean, it basically runs it through Wine, but you can get it if you can still get the game anywhere.
well, I do have it as a zip file on my drive. I did download it beforehand, but I can't open it up on my Mac. So
Fair enough.
I'll see if I can find mine and send it to you after the show.
that'd be great. I would like to try it out.
Nice. Well, before we get any FBI agents involved in this podcast, Holly, did you make your third pick?
I think that was 3 that I just did. Hang on, I gotta.
Yeah, other M.
Windows
You
to
killed
juggle.
other M.
It was
You
3. Other M.
killed-
Hyrule Warriors Legends.
Hyrule
and
Warriors
Donkey Kong.
Legends and Donkey Kong Game Boy.
Donkey Kong. Yeah, that's right.
Geez, that was a lot easier than the first round, and I feel like I took out
Yeah.
worse games on the first round.
Yeah, my heart is still bleeding for Donkey Kong, but nobody's gonna back me up on that. So
Yeah.
I mean, I would, but it would just be the two of us.
yeah,
can make
where
it
are
if
you,
you try.
Steve?
3 would be enough, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it's your turn,
All right.
right, Justin? So get to
Yep.
snipping.
Is it? All right. I should have been looking at the list. It's so hard to keep track of what the discussion
It's such a
is. and-
surprise.
All right. I'm gonna take out. I was gonna say F-Zero GX, but yeah, I'm gonna take out GX. I think X was better.
Okay.
Debatable, but
No argument for me.
Debatable. I don't know.
But
I would.
You know.
I'd probably lean towards the X being my personal favorite of the two, but they are pretty close. So
yeah,
Well, I mean,
I
if
don't-
there's enough resistance, I'll let somebody else make the decision which one's staying.
I don't think there's going to be an F-Zero game on the list, guys.
yeah, probably not.
Why did you get so close to your microphone when you said that? You're trying to prove a point or something?
I mean, you guys can't see me, so my only use of anything is my voice. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Well,
All right.
Who else is that voice too?
I am going to take
Right
out.
back. Gotta pee. Hurry up, Justin.
All right, I'm going to take out Wario Land.
fine.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
it's a really cool game, but yeah,
Definitely not best ever.
exactly. Yeah.
Gonna take out Pokemon. All right, I'm gonna leave this up to the group. I'm either taking out Pokemon Gold and Silver or Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Which ones?
I would
Which one?
say,
I'll say the remakes.
yeah, I would say
Yeah,
take
cut
out
the
remake.
remakes. Yuck.
because they're remakes. I mean, they were the good remakes.
I didn't
but,
think
yeah.
they were that great, honestly.
They were
best
fantastic remakes.
They're the
but-
best. They're the best Pokemon games out of every Pokemon game possible.
Yeah,
And
but
I-
I think
and
Oh,
I,
wait, do you want to?
And I love
You wanna-
Yellow and Gold, but like the remakes.
Do you want to cut the originals out? Or?
Harrison, please have an opinion because you're the tiebreaker at this point.
Get rid of the remake. Get rid of the remake.
All right, I was going to get rid of the originals, but it seems leaning.
Go with your
towards-
gut, Justin. Go with your gut, Justin. Don't listen to them.
Well, it's hard because
I guess I should be the little angel on your shoulder as well, shouldn't
I don't even remember which your choice was, Lewis.
Well, the opposite answer, of course.
All right.
see, I just
Yeah.
want to make sure that you're not just doing it because you think that remakes are somehow like inferior. Like,
Oh, no,
personally,
no.
I think
You
that
know
the
what?
originals were just really good. But
Here's my justification. I'm taking out the originals because most people's batteries died and they can't play the originals anymore, whereas Heart Gold and Soul Silver had flash save and those are good forever. So
that's fair.
I am keeping the remakes and taking out the originals. I gotta pick one more, right?
What'd you kill so far? I was gone.
Gold, silver. I forget what the first one was. Oh, Wario Land.
Yeah.
And I was gonna take out Link's Awakening, but somebody wants to fight me on it.
I think that's Steve, so you can probably get rid of it without an argument.
All right. I love Link's Awakening, especially the DX one, but yeah, of all the Zelda games on there, it's the one least likely to stay. So those are my three.
So did nobody really give Justin the argument of gold, silver better than red, blue?
We had a discussion, but red and blue? No.
Oh, nobody.
Who deleted Heart? Wait, who deleted Heart Gold and Soul Silver off the list though? It's not even on the list anymore.
Oh, let's see. There it is.
Eugene.
I did it on accident. That was my fault.
All right. Yeah.
Hashtag blame Eugene.
Yeah. Nobody has tried touching red and blue. We just had a debate over originals or remakes on Gold and Silver. So.
We need to put Sun and Moon back on there, please.
No, we don't.
Just kidding. I think blue and red are going to be on the list, and those are the only Pokemon games that'll be there.
I think it's going to be Gold and Silver.
Take off the remakes, the originals. I don't even care.
No, Gold and Silver is better than red and blue.
Yeah, but that's a discussion for the next cut.
Yeah. Okay. I can dig that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Justin, you got one more?
That was his third, wasn't it?
Oh, that was their third?
I thought.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, well then I get
Wario Land, Pokemon Gold and Silver, and whatever the heck the other one was.
Link's Awakening.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
Right. Link's Awakening. Okay, sounds good. Well, that means that we're up to you, Lewis. So get cutting. I hope that it's not getting any easier, is it?
No, but I've got my first game in the crosshairs, which is going to be
you doing, Lucas. Shoot. Lucas, not Lewis.
No, I heard. But okay, I've been debating over two games in my head. The two Animal Crossing games, which I found better, and also the topics come up about whether to pick originals or not. But I think in this case, the original, the GameCube version of Animal Crossing, the first one that we got, the reason why I think that's better, despite some newer features coming in for New Leaf, is that I feel the original was more about kind of at least I felt the original intent of the game, and you could play it as a local community. So if you had a GameCube and had some friends, and they could have their own houses in the game, and you could even items, that little gyroid outside your house, and you could just leave things around the village, and you can help out, or you could be mean, and I think it really encapsulated that really well. Where New Leaf's a really great game, but it's kind of doing something a little bit different, where I think original Animal Crossing is a little bit more special.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I never got to play the original Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
New Leaf was my first. And I want one of the Animal Crossing games to make the top 25 because I think they're amazing games. But having never played the original, I can't objectively say that one's better than the other. So I leave it to your,
That's cool. Awesome. All right. Okay. Let's put a mark down then next to New Leaf. As good as it is. Next then. Oh, it's getting harder and harder. Okay. On that note, Eternal Darkness.
Oh, see, that's tough for me because it's such a good game. But is it top 25?
I've never even played it, so I'm not gonna object. I've never even played it.
So many creative ideas in that game that have never been never been redone.
But does it really deserve to be on the top 25? I mean, it is kind of clunky.
My point is that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was pretty much done. I'm just saying, like I've played it. I've played it before, modern. And, come on, Mike.
Oh, come on.
It's kind of clunky. Like it's not. It's a good game. It's a good game, and it's a creative game. But I mean, you go back and you play it, and it's kind of like when you go back and you play Prince of Persia on the GameCube. It felt special at the time, but it doesn't really hold up today. All
right, I'm with you on all these points.
The game has aged terribly.
It has, and I love the game.
The things which made it great, like the can't remember what the effects are called now.
Sanity effects.
It's the sanity effects, yeah. Unfortunately, none of them work nowadays in that sense. Like when the volumes goes up, it's like, that's clearly not my TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're.
And
All right, I'm
Yeah.
with you on all these points, but my argument is that I am breaking up. You guys probably can't hear me,
We
but
can
I'm going to
hear
keep
you.
talking. I'm going to keep talking anyways, because does Eternal Darkness deserve to get cut before Kicks, or does Eternal Darkness get?
This was kind of what. It's kind
How
of one
is
of
that
the,
even an argument? We're picking what we want to pick.
We're not cutting in
Oh,
order
well,
of like what we hate more. We're just cutting based on what we
my-
don't think deserves to be on the list.
All right, well then this is a game that I'm willing to die on this hill for. I'm not ready to cut it yet. I'm just not.
Let it die. I'm done. Done with that.
I think it's in the spirit of the game. It's themed around death in itself. There are endless cycles. I think it would be honoured to be killed on our list earlier than other games.
Kill it.
I guess I'm alone here. If I'm alone, then let's cut it. But
And also, on a more genuine reason, I think the more kind of traditional gameplay parts of the game, I think the Resident Evil remake far outranks it in that sense. Whereas the special bits, I feel, has not aged at all very well. Whereas, don't get me wrong, I do think it's a really cool game. But in terms of like top 25, I don't think it really holds a candle anymore, unfortunately.
Well, how's this, Eugene, for a compromise? Twin Snakes is still on the list, and the Psycho Mantis battle used a lot of the same tricks that Eternal Darkness used. So you still got one somewhat innovative game on there.
yeah, but Metal Gear
By the same
sucks.
developer.
Y'all are weird. Y'all are
am
weird.
I'm of the opinion that Metal Gear games are not good, so that doesn't work for me. But
Okay,
I can see I'm alone
Do you like the
here.
original Resident Evil? Because that's kind of the line I was going down.
I can see I'm alone here that I'm not going to win this argument, but I just want to make note that Eternal Darkness would definitely make my top 10, like maybe even top 5. I liked it that much. I haven't gone back to it in maybe 5-10 years, so it probably hasn't held up as well as it has in my mind, but I still really enjoyed it when I played it.
It's no Kirby Dream Course, but I can see I can see the simple charms you find in Eternal Darkness.
Well, and I think that's where we're going to be on a lot of these. I think that's where we're going to be on a lot of these games. Like, there are games that we personally would have on like our top list that aren't going to make this, and maybe we can even do a top list of our own. You know, just not on the podcast, but maybe we can do an article or something. You know.
Yeah, I think I think you all bring up good points, but I'm, as much as I love the game and hate to see it go for the same reasons Eugene gave, Lucas is right. It does play kind of clunky. Lewis is right. A lot of the sanity effects don't hold up with, modern technology. And once you've experienced them once, they never work on you again. So I think we got to let this one go, Eugene.
I've already watched it die.
Yeah, I've got a third game to cut, and I'm not going to pick another easy one either. Okay, not going to go as drastic as I was, but still, a game I consider pretty damn good. Shantae and the Pirate's Curse.
I don't.
I'm picking.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, that can go.
There are other Metroidvania games. There's one as far as games that do it better still, and it's a great homage. But I mean, it's not a great homage, but it's a great nod to that series still.
It's one of those, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those, like,
I mean,
Steve
we've
was here, he picked that. But yeah, we're not going to argue that one.
Yeah, we already have 2 Metroid games on there that are better than the games that are inspired by them. So,
Sure.
Cool. So that's my 3.
That was easy.
Awesome. Well, Mike, I believe that means you're up. So get cutting.
All right, brace yourselves, boys. I'm going in. And Holly, be careful. I'm cutting Pilot Wings off the list.
Yeah, that's fine.
Fair.
Agreed.
Oh, well,
Poor Pilot Wings.
all right then.
Bye, Pilot Wings.
I was ready to like cut people for that one, but all right.
Who put it on there? They must not be in the chat right now.
Probably not.
Well, I love Pilot Wings, but it's not like top 25 material. So
Yeah.
it's a good tech demo for whatever system it's on, but it's not really good game.
You're right. Yeah, that's
But-
true.
We'll get that far. I think it's a good game, but yeah, it's outranked.
I want to cut. Man, don't take that out of context, people.
Yeah.
I want to cut.
A few rounds later.
I want to cut Street Fighter 2. Any edition, all editions. I don't care for Street Fighter 2, especially after what Capcom has done recently with their whole.
Okay, what Capcom is doing now does not discount it.
Yeah.
No, but I don't care for Street Fighter. I think it's a poor fighting game compared to every other fighting game out there. I think
my
it plays like
God,
dirt.
you are
Best
high.
fighting game, but like, I mean, I don't love it. Like, I'd be fine cutting it.
Me too.
I think though, although my opinion is it's the best of like the traditional 2D fighting games.
Yeah.
And probably objectively, Street Fighter 2 is the best Street Fighter game. I just don't like it all that much, so I'm okay with cutting it. I don't know if hating Capcom should be part of your agenda for this.
No,
I think it should be a little more objective than that. Like,
Oh, I'm being objective, but I want to throw a subjective note in there that I hate Capcom. I'm okay with that. I would rather play Street Fighter, I'd rather play Dead or Alive than Street Fighter. I'd rather play King of Fighters than Street Fighter. I'd rather play Tekken than Street Fighter. I just don't care for Street Fighter.
Yeah, I'm with Phantom. No love for Mortal Kombat.
that was a good one
Mortal
too.
Kombat too. I'm a very good Raiden, or Raiden, however you want to pronounce it. You know, we're in Eugene land here. We can say however we want to say it.
Can quay up whatever we want.
I want to, and I'm gonna cut Kick before anyone else does, because forget you guys. I put it on there. I can cut it if I want. I put it on there because we needed games at that point. No one else had even touched the list yet, so I threw a game on there.
Lewis, it looks
And
like
a few
somebody did buy
non-games.
that game. You were the one.
Yeah, I was doing a non-verbal defense. This time around.
Well, I have it too. Like, you know, good game, but
Yeah, I love it. I hate to see it go, but I don't know.
Does it hold up to everything else on this list, though? No, it doesn't.
I
don't know. I don't know what the final list is going to
bigger
be.
hills to die on. Like, if you guys come at any of my games, I'm coming at you with.
well,
blades.
I want to come at a game since I believe it's my turn, but I know that it's not going to make the list of cuts. So, like, I don't even know why I should bother because all of you are going to rush to defend it. But I want to cut Breath of the Wild. And then everybody complains, and then they'll tell me how it's the best game of all time, and like,
It's
but
good
there's
enough.
better games. Like,
I'm
there's
cutting
better,
arms when it's my turn.
There's better, okay, well, that's spiteful. But
Yeah,
there's
Breath of the
better,
Wild.
No, it's not.
there's better Zelda games. There's better free roaming games. There's not a lot to do in Breath of the Wild. It's doing the same thing
And yet
over
I've
and
spent almost
over and
200 hours
over
on
again.
it. So.
Exactly.
But it's putting
But
its
it's
spin on
boring.
everything and basically its own little mic drop to it. I mean, the best comparison I could possibly give to something like this. Oh wow, games have already done like people like Western developers have already done this before and such on there. But here's the thing: this is the equivalent of say like take for instance if you took like an older filmmaker like say Stanley Kubrick or Alfred Hitchcock and you gave them the technology that you did today, and they're like, oh wait, Thriller's already been done this way. But you're giving the hands of a master filmmaker. You're giving a company like Nintendo who is known to do something like this and giving them the tools and time to make something like this. Like, there was a Waypoint article, if I can just pull it up real quick, about this, and just give me a second and I will pull this up. Hang on.
Look at this, Harrison, coming in with all the sources. And
Oh, here it is. Here it is. This is from the Splatoon 2. This is from the Splatoon 2 review, and this is an excerpt from Waypoint, which is an offshoot of Vice, which Patrick Klepek worked for. This is the poll quote that I have here from the review. Maybe I'm reaching here, but hear me out. Splatoon was one of Nintendo's most inventive games in years. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is possibly one of the best games Nintendo has ever made. Both were cut from the same cloth in which Nintendo studied the rest of the industry, put their own spin on it, and clowned them effortlessly. There's something in the water, Nintendo, as if they have something to prove all over again. Despite their age, I like it. There. That is why I believe Breath of the Wild should be on there. Yes, there are other developers that have gotten to there first, but when you put Nintendo's spin on that, they're just something special about it.
Yeah, I have
absolutely
not cared.
cutting Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I have not cared about an open. I love open world games. I've been playing Grand Theft Auto since the original. I love Red Dead Redemption. I've talked about it many times before, but no open world game has hooked me the way Breath of the Wild has. And even though I've done everything in it, I still will boot it up and play it for a couple of hours just because I love wandering around the world and finding stuff. I mean, it's that fun.
It's a fun game to wander, isn't it? That's the thing.
Look,
Lucas, I side with you, Lucas. I really do, but I can't say anything after what Harrison just brought up. So I mean, I got nothing after that.
Like, let me state my piece, because I know it's an unpopular opinion, and I know that it's not going to make the cut, and that's fine. But it's just, I don't enjoy it like everybody else does. It's a good game, and I've probably put more time into it than any other Infendo person in our current group.
All right,
not this group, but our group. But just like, for me personally, there were a lot of disappointing elements to it. There were things I didn't like about it, and as far as games go, I wouldn't have it on my list. That's why I offered to cut it.
Well, let me be fair with you on this, Lucas. I'm not that big of a fan of Pokemon. I've never played a game more than maybe a couple dozen hours, and it's been over a decade since I did that. But I understand the value, I understand the passion, and I would be really disappointed if we cut all of the Pokemon games. Even though I barely play them, I think they have intrinsic value on a top 25 list.
See, I feel like the argument there, though, is that I love The Legend of Zelda as a series. Like, it's my favorite series. So I understand that, but I'm not trying to cut all of the Zelda games. It's just this one particular one that I don't think is the best Zelda game, you know? But again, I know you guys want to keep it, so why am I even talking about it?
I think when it comes down
if we had to have one Zelda, if we had to have one Zelda on this list, I'd pick Wind Waker, but that's just me.
Lucas, let me put it this way.
I'd pick Wind Waker over Breath of the Wild. No, I would pick Wind Waker over Breath of the Wild if I had to pick a Zelda game for the top 25. But Wind Waker's not even on the list for some reason. So.
That is
Lucas, let me put it this way. I have a feeling, I know in fact that Breath of the Wild is going to make this top 25 list. There's no way that it's not. I have a feeling that next week when we're actually ordering the list, we're going to be fighting for it in the top 3, maybe, or top 5, maybe not even top 3, maybe even the top game. So I mean, there's no way this does not make the list.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I know that my opinion isn't a popular one. It's just personally, I wouldn't put it on the list. And I thought I should voice that since that's like the whole point of this. But, you know, it's not going to get cut. So it is what it is. Let's see then. I'm not going to cut Custom Robo because I've never played it.
Thank you.
I want to cut Dragon Quest 9, but let's go with...
What is Holly holding up over here?
I'm trying to prove that Lewis is not paying any attention and is online playing The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Hey, my verbal Street Fighter the battle. That's essentially what I was doing now. You knew I was playing Zelda. I hadn't mentioned it. It's that strong of a game.
That's okay. We literally play games on this podcast on the rig, so it's fine.
Yes, and I get yelled at when I have the sensor beeping.
Yeah.
Because it's annoying. I'd like to cut Xenoblade Chronicles. Objections?
Wait,
yes.
Objection.
Okay. There are like 2 people in the chat. 2 people in the chat, and me and Lewis, we both want it on there.
I'm one who hasn't played in a while.
No more
finished it, but I am one of the believed to. It's one of those games I feel like is going to be on there. Like it could just barely make the cut, but even if it didn't, it would definitely be top 30. I think it would be that would be back end.
All right, so we'll save it and see if it gets cut farther down the list. That's fair.
Yes.
All right, then I'll make my first cut, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. I think we can all agree that while it's an amazing game, it probably doesn't deserve.
I was going to cut that, so yeah, go ahead.
I almost did cut it last time. So
really fired too early.
It was just plain for me, so I'm glad you cut it too.
I'm choosing that, guys.
I think we're getting down to, like Lucas said, we're getting down to the games that we're cutting because we just never played them.
Sure.
I played the crap out of Phoenix Wright. Like, I just didn't. I just don't think it's
next round. Next round, we're gonna suss up this list and see where we're at. So yeah,
that's probably a good idea. Final Fantasy players, I want to cut 2/4 in favor of 3/6. What the?
That's fine.
Yeah, so we're talking about 6, Japanese 6, right? Kefka.
I've never played 6, but I've heard it's better than 4, which I have played. So
then we're cutting 4. Okay, so that's 2. Sorry, those of you listening at home. I'm hoping that Eugene can cut some of this out because I'm having a tough time coming up with a third one here.
Oh, Eugene's going to have lots of fun editing this.
All right, let's have the next discussion. I think that Heart Gold and Soul Silver deserves to be on the list more than Pokemon Red and Blue. Who wants to talk about that?
Wait, say what?
Wait, what?
I'm with you on that.
I'm voting for Heart Gold, Soul Silver over Pokemon Red and Blue.
Red and Blue was novel but clunky. I think Generation 2 ironed out all the kinks.
But also, Generation 2 includes the Kanto region.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't make it
go.
Yeah, that makes Generation 2 better, right?
Well,
yeah, red and blue can get cut. Gold and
I
silver
think they're
stays.
agreeing with you, Lucas.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're cutting Red and Blue.
That was less painful than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah. All right, so those are my 3.
All right, whose turn is it now?
That would
think
be
it's Eugene.
me.
Oh, no, Eugene.
So after this round, we're going to go and completely delete all these starred games from the list. So then we have a better idea of where we're at. So
Probably a good idea.
now's the time. Now's
Steve
the time to
editing
look.
the list.
Yeah, he is. He sure is.
Can't join the podcast, but you can mess with our list.
What's he doing?
So guys, we're gonna cut the bad Star Fox game. We're gonna cut Star Fox Adventures. Even though I love it, it's not as good as Star Fox 64. And quite frankly, I'm not sure Star Fox 64 is even gonna make the list. So we're cutting Adventure right now.
Yeah, fine with that. I mean, yeah.
Yep, fine.
All right. I mean, what if it was Assault and not Adventures? Would you still cut it over 64?
Probably.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'm alone on that one
Assault
too.
was definitely
I guess I'm
better,
alone
but-
on that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike.
I think Assault's the best Star Fox. Well, besides Zero, but yeah. All right.
All right. I'm gonna make somebody mad probably with this one. Okay, I want to cut Paper Mario.
Well, the better question you should have asked.
Wait.
The question you should have asked. Okay, show of hands. What's your favorite Paper Mario game between the original or Thousand Year Door? Then that should have decided it.
And that's a really tough call. Like they're
That
both
was
so
I
good.
mean,
I only
they're like amazing games.
Okay, one at a
I only
time,
beat
guys.
the first. I only beat the first one, so I'm kind of partial to that one for that reason. But Thousand Year Door was pretty amazing what I played of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
the first one had a much more fun for me story. It was just straight up Mario and Bowser and whatnot. But Thousand Year Door was just so polished. But Thousand Year Door also had the papery gimmicks, which I didn't really like. And I feel like the characters were more memorable in the original. So I would vote for the original, I guess.
So my
would vote for the original
argument here
too.
is that I think that Thousand Year Door and Super Mario RPG are both better than Paper Mario, and I don't think all 3 should be on the list.
Agreed, all 3 shouldn't be on the list. Which one is currently in the runnings to go?
Paper Mario.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I never beat Thousand Year Door, but I liked it enough to not argue it being at least as good. So
Mike, you want to fight still? What we got? What we got to do to get this off the list?
Get rid of RPG and we can keep Paper Mario.
Oh
no,
but
I definitely think
they're all so good.
I definitely think RPG should stay and one of the Paper Marios.
Yeah,
one of them has
tough choices to make.
Do we want to just do this democratically then, and everybody raise a hand? Can we just like settle it that way?
One at a time.
Like all in favor of cutting Thousand Year Door, raise a hand and say aye. Aye.
Was that just a test?
The original Paper Mario. Raise a hand and say aye.
Aye.
What's the question?
So
I couldn't hear you.
So we're 2-2, and Mike is eating a cookie. All right. Mike, you're the deciding vote, Mike. Do you want to cut Paper Mario, or do you want to cut Thousand Year Door?
Mike is currently filibustering this entire thing right now with the cookie.
Clearly.
Actually, we're talking about filibusters and eating cookies. I'm actually eating On the border, Mexican Grill and Cantina Cafe style, Fiesta style tortilla chips.
What are we
They are
taking
very
out?
good. We're cutting in your door.
Okay.
All right.
I'm okay with either. So.
Oh. All right, great. Because my next pick is Paper Mario.
What the?
What?
I
that.
highly argue against it.
Yeah,
A revolutionary RPG.
I think it's one or the other, not both.
Completely individual. There's never been another game quite like it, and I think it deserves
Mario
to be on the top 25.
Mario RPG's better. Kind of started the trend.
Mario RPG is so much more of like a classic traditional RPG. Like it has elements of Paper Mario, but I feel like Paper Mario just did the light RPGs so well, where like your character only has 20 hit points and he loses them in like stacks of 1 and 2 instead of, thousands of HP per turn. I just think it's so unique as a game. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm throwing my hat down, I'm
take a
going
different
for
shot.
Paper Mario over RPG. Like if I have to.
Yeah.
Let me take a different shot here.
I'm actually
How
with
about,
Lucas on
agreed.
that.
how about Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes? Who's going to fight me on that one? Because I hate
I won't fight you. I won't fight you. I like the game.
I hear.
I
Yeah.
don't.
No, I won't fight him.
I put the game on the list, and I won't fight you at this point because, I mean, it's a great game. I love it, but yeah, maybe not best game ever.
It's those silly acrobatic rocket jumps, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I think that was that point when they redid all those cutscenes, and they did. I forgot the choreograph director that they got for that. I think it was the same person who did help with the Matrix. So you definitely see a lot of that there.
Probably.
Yeah, but at the same time, that was Kojima's idea to bring him on, so it's not like.
But yeah, it's
All right, so we're
But
cutting.
yeah, I'm
Twin
fine.
Snakes.
Twin Snakes can go.
Bye, Twin Snakes.
All right,
Not
so
Zero Mission, Twin
my
Snakes. What are
bad.
you doing?
my bad. All right, so we're gonna go through
Easy,
and
Gene.
actually cut stuff. So we'll leave that I suck because that's still the case. But we're gonna cut Animal Crossing. All this fun stuff. Feel free to help me cut stuff, guys. It'll go
All
faster
right, I'll
that
start
way.
at the bottom.
I'm just afraid I'm going to accidentally cut something like that isn't supposed to
Why
be cut.
are
'cause
people
we're
adding
not
games
looking
to
at
the
the
list that aren't even out yet?
Who's adding games? Oh.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was on the bottom.
I did. Must have been one of those listeners.
That was a total joke in the YouTube chat.
Whoop.
Oh, you know it's one of those rascals on YouTube.
So we're going with the YouTube chat now for putting Xenoblade Chronicles 2 in there, but we can't have the YouTube chat keep Home Improvement in the damn list.
We're not winning
would be
this
kind
one.
of like-
They don't listen to
Oh,
our
I
show.
tried.
It would have been kind of iconic to have Home Improvement as like the number 25 slot. We should make it number 26, Eugene. just so we can say that we did
Just
it.
because.
We're not numbering the
Yeah,
rest.
well, it's us. It's our identity. We have our logo centered around it at this point. Like,
Can't get much more inside joke than that.
That's true. My gosh, we still have a lot of games.
Yeah, we do.
Steve, I'm deleting all your commentary after Shovel Knight. It's still on the list, so quit whining.
Yeah, I'm going to be very...
It makes it should be Shovel Knight.
Yeah, I'm not going to be a huge supporter of Shovel Knight, but like I don't really care if you guys want to keep it. It's not my game, but it could be yours. So
When its time comes.
yeah, when the day comes.
When the day comes. Like many of these
When
things.
the world ends.
I think we've all had our hearts broken at least once or twice here.
Okay, well, we've got still a hefty list. We've got 52 games still left on this list, so there's still plenty of rooms for cuts. I'm not going to read through this list yet.
Room for heartbreak.
Okay, from now on, can we just flat out delete a game when we cut it instead
I like
of
that better.
asterisking it?
Yeah, I would.
I like
I don't
that
know why
better.
we weren't doing that to begin with.
If it's more, if it's unanimous, like the group decide, we delete. If there's like any sort of, well, not any sort, but if there's like strong defense.
If it's
then we-
Breath of the Wild level cutting, then we don't cut or we put an asterisk.
Breath of the Wild is not being cut.
We're not arguing that, Justin. We're having a discussion.
All right, so I'm going to implement a new rule on this one because we're having trouble cutting things now. So starting from here, we're going to add an X to a game. So like, let's say that we want to cut, I don't know, Bayonetta 2, and somebody says that they don't want to cut it. We're going to put an X to it and then come back to it later, and then that'll notate that it's been on the chopping block once. Hmm?
That's fair.
That's fine.
That's fair.
Just one thing. I mean,
Okay,
it's fair.
all right.
maybe some slight confusion if this happens to Xenoblade Chronicles. Then we all get confused.
Oh yeah, that.
I just
Okay, how about we go with a plus instead of an X?
so we're all aware.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
And
Okay, guys. So looks like Harrison, you are in for round whatever the heck we're on.
3, I think. So this is for
Infinity.
cutting right now. All right, we're gonna start here. I'm gonna cut arms. That seems to be right there.
Lucas, go, Lucas, go, get in there.
I go for an X. It's a highly original game. I think it's revolutionary. I want to keep it, but who cares?
I'm fine. I'm fine with the game. I actually enjoy it. It's just I think for something like that that's limited on some single player packaging on there that I feel like it just needs. I don't think it's up above like say other these games that have better single player experiences. Whereas
But it's
like,
a fighting game, so it's not really meant to be a single player experience.
It is. I mean, in
know?
terms of other depth to it, I feel like one thing that ARMS really does need with its Grand Prix is an incentive to go through each fighter. You know how when you played either like any current fighting game at this point, there's usually a story mode to this, or little things that like whether it's just a map painting, like a little imagery and such. To me, when I play it, it's like, oh, I just cleared with say Quintel and or Mechanica. There's nothing really rewarding me out there aside from just, hey, you beat this character for this.
I agree that that's a flaw, but I don't know if that's enough of a reason to cut it.
Well, I'm just saying it's for top 25. I just don't think it cuts it there. And we'll put an X. We will put an X there as it's been on the chopping block once. Now, this is where I'm going to get to this point right now between these two games and its sequel. I'm in favor of cutting Donkey Kong Country because Donkey Kong Country 2, I feel like it's peak for that trilogy of games.
I agree. Donkey Kong.
I agree.
I'm not going to fight you. I don't enjoy Donkey Kong Country, so I don't care.
I have a soft spot for the original, but the second one is definitely better designed. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get it
For
going.
what it's worth, my one friend on Facebook who told me he's watching says that ARMS is a corny game and it should be cut. So.
Right. Okay. So do I have to pick 2 more, or do I get to pick because I chose one? And basically, what I'm saying is I chose a game that was first, like ARMS, whatever.
Oh no, you gotta kill 3 games. That's your.
Okay, I thought
Yeah,
I
I
thought.
like that, yeah.
Okay.
We'll never get done.
Okay. I'm cutting Minecraft Switch Edition.
Why is that?
Thank
so
God.
Get that out of here.
I can agree.
Okay. I want to raise a counterpoint here because I don't have any say in it one way or the other. I don't particularly like Minecraft. Steve isn't here to defend it, and I feel like if there was one game on the list that Steve would want to defend, it's Minecraft. As far as originality goes, which seems to be a point that we keep arguing on this list, Minecraft is an original game. Admittedly, the Nintendo version isn't an original game, so I can understand wanting to cut it. But I just kind of feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't give Steve the benefit of the doubt and like making an argument for it. Because, I mean, I know how Steve feels about that game. It's probably his favorite game on the Switch. So that's my.
Well, Steve should play better games then.
I'm definitely with you, Lucas.
Lucas, finish that sentence, please. What are you going to say, Lucas? For the man, what?
Let's keep going.
All right, settle in the bedroom, boys.
All right, here's my. You guys want my last one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, bring it.
All right, the Resident Evil remake.
I knew it was going to hurt.
You know what? Hey, if it's between that, I'm sorry. Like the Resident Evil 4 beats it out. I still enjoyed that game. It's just if I'm choosing between a revolutionary like a third person action adventure, action game. It doesn't really have too much of survival horror element to it. It's more actiony. I'm going to choose 4 to stay and Resident Evil remake to go.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I can agree with that. That wouldn't be my choice, but because I actually liked remake better. But you know, I mean, we got to get somewhere. So let's get it.
It's very close to me. But yeah, because at least for now we've got that full representation. I'm less warring mode. So yeah, do what must be done.
Okay, yeah, done. Next person.
All right.
Ollie.
Oh, yikes. Okay. Gosh, I haven't had the list up for a minute here. Ooh. Oh gosh. I want to get rid of one of the Mario Kart games. And I'm actually, I mean, the reason I think we should cut ARMS and possibly even Breath of the Wild is because those games are so new, and to be put on kind of a bigger, more broad list like this, I feel like a little more time has to pass, and you kind of have to see how something ends up fitting in the whole flow of the industry. So I would actually be inclined to cut Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Mario Kart 64 is so good. The battle mode is
it's not
still better than Mario Kart 8.
I'm siding with Holly. I love Mario Kart 8, but Mario Kart 64 is so much fun.
I disagree. I think 8 is the perfect Mario Kart, and frankly, 64 is one of the worst.
Like, and with that said, I think Mario Kart 8
is like my favorite. But
I think 8 deserves to be on the list, and even though it is a newer game, you know, it's proved itself to be, in many eyes, the best Mario Kart around. You know, so I don't know.
My only problem with 8 and by extension Deluxe, and this actually kind of does go back from a few Mario Karts. This isn't me to say like, oh, it should be eliminated. This is something I feel like Mario Kart needs to help and evolve itself further. Is it has to have a substantial better single player in terms of like, hey, instead of just a Grand Prix, have something a little bit deep that we have, like say with what we see with Super Smash Brothers. There's other things aside from taking each little character and finishing it, whatever. There's event modes, there's little mission modes, and I think it was like Mario Kart DS or 7 had this mission mode where you would just go through these.
That was DS.
Yes, thank you. I feel like something like that should make a comeback. But knowing how well the series is just selling based on its multiplayer component, I just don't see that happening anytime soon.
I'm ready to put it. I can put an X by both of them. I would be fine with that. I'm just not ready to cut
8 Deluxe. Well, if it helps any, I actually love 8 Deluxe a ton. My issue with having a game like that, or you know, like I say, any newer game to me, you just need more time to pass. Honestly, I think 8 Deluxe is better than Mario Kart 64, but is it going to age as well as I feel like Mario Kart 64 has? Is it going to really, really go down as just one of the best Mario Karts ever? Or is the next one just going to completely one-up it and everyone will forget about 8 Deluxe? Like, nobody forgets about 64. It's got what I think is the best battle mode in the series, and I think it has aged really well and is still just a blast to play.
But to argue that point, I mean, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe isn't as new as a game like ARMS or Breath of the Wild. Like, it's as new as a game like Xenoblade. Well, maybe not Xenoblade. That was a Wii game. But, like, it's been around for a few years now. I think we kind of know where it stands as opposed to some of the newer games.
And, I mean, it is
really a valid argument.
And, I mean, it is the Wii U system seller if there ever was one. So,
and it's just a really good game. Like I get bummed out when I have to play an older Mario Kart now because like 8 is the perfect one, at least in my opinion.
I'm with Holly because I mean not completely, but I mean if I had to pick,
well, I'm not with myself completely.
Well, okay, well there we go. But yeah, I mean like battle mode. I spent so many hours battle mode on 64, and I have such great memories, such great tracks, great music. But then I turn around and I can say a lot of that about 8. Plus, it looks better and has online. So I don't know. Are we all wishy-washy on this?
I am. I mean, I am. I kind of want to see them both on the list for now until we get a little bit further down.
I would rather cut 8, so that's just me.
And I'd rather cut 64. Like
same.
So there's a
and there are some
place on this one.
Yikes.
I've not said myself. I think personally, 8 is now my favourite, whether it's Deluxe or not. But yeah, I think we just kind of have our own favourites this series. So this is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Because unlike the Zelda games and like the Mario games, I feel the Mario Kart games obviously more similar to each other.
Yeah.
In the sort of series. So.
Who knows? We might end up with 2 Mario Karts on the list. I don't think that's such a bad thing.
Yeah.
Can we get another game off the list? Because
Super Mario 3D World.
I'm okay with that.
We already lost land, so I'm not.
I really wish that I had added Galaxy beforehand, but whatever.
There's better Marios out there.
Yeah.
Well, I still think Galaxy is so good.
Can we trade 3D World for Sunshine?
No.
Can we just cut games so we're not here for
Yeah.
another 2 hours? Because it's already 10:30.
Yeah, even I'm not silly enough to think like, yeah, I can convince everybody else that Galaxy deserves a spot, but I'm not gonna say that. We gotta wrap this thing up sometime.
Yeah.
You can't convince
And
me
anyway-
that, so don't even try.
Okay, let's stop arguing in agreement with each other.
All right, cut it.
Super Mario World. Okay, I figured that might be an easy-ish one. Tetris.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
At one point, I would have identified it with Nintendo, but now it's on everything, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As someone who was like the resident god of Tetris in his whole group, yeah, it can go.
Well, if we're cutting Tetris, then I'm gonna pull a veto here and say we gotta cut Tetris Attack. Then I mean, it only makes sense.
No, we don't.
Yeah. Well,
No,
okay. Tetris is it's much better than Tetris Attack, and it's like further reaching. Like more people have played Tetris.
It's a different kind of game, though. It's not Tetris. It's
Sure,
just Tetris
sure.
in name.
But if you're gonna have a Tetris game on the list, it's got to be Tetris.
All right, hang on a second. I'm gonna come to Mike's defense here for a second, because Tetris Attack is not actually a Tetris game, for one. Number two, of
Yeah,
the
it's
two of them,
Panel yeah.
Panel de Pon is an original Nintendo puzzle game. They came up with it. They marketed it. They slapped different brands on it, but Panel de Pon is Nintendo's puzzle game, other than like Dr. Mario. So
and Pushmo.
Well, I mean, you know,
how come
like
I didn't put that one on the list?
The only way we're deleting Tetris, I think, is if we're deleting both Tetris and Tetris Attack. I mean, that's
Let's not strong arm it. Let's get rid of Tetris now, and then someone else can get rid of Tetris Attack if they feel like it.
Why don't we replace Tetris Attack with just generic Panel de Pon? Because I think we can all agree that that's a really good puzzle game, no matter what they call it.
Sure,
And
but
I
it's not
agree
better
with
than
that.
Tetris.
I agree with that.
That's fair.
All right, I'm coming after you, Panel de Pon. You watch it. You and freaking Paper Mario. You're coming next.
You need to go download Planet Puzzle League on your 3DS and then try and tell me that needs to go, because I think you'll be hooked.
I played it. I mean, you know, it's good. Hey, Tetris.
Panel de
All right.
Pon with a touchscreen is possibly the most fun puzzle game ever.
Okay, so we are killing Super Mario 3D World. We are killing Tetris. And did you give a third one already, Holly?
It was the whole Mario Kart thing.
Oh, yeah. Jeez. So now you got to find a third one.
Well, I don't know.
Kills.
Maybe I'll hop off the fence and just go ahead and delete Mario Kart 64. I think most of us would kind of agree with that, right?
I think everyone except you and Mike, right?
Yeah, but if I gotta bite the bullet, I'll bite the bullet. I don't care.
Yeah. Deluxe or Mario Kart 8 has always been so good.
Sooner or later, I gotta go to work and walk these dogs. So I mean,
all right, I guess.
All right, kill it.
Goodbye, Mario Kart 64.
I'm kind of sad that I never put Super Mario Kart on there, because I think there's an argument to be made for that.
That game sucks. That game sucks. Mode 7 is a terrible thing. Mario Kart SNES sucks.
Super Mario is a pretty rough game. Like,
strong words.
All right.
Anyway, it's late. Almost.
All right, Justin, you're up. Start cutting.
All right. Oh God. Monster Hunter Generations.
Disagree.
I don't think it has the broad appeal of a top 25 list.
Go on.
Half of this group disagrees with you.
I mean, it might be an amazing game. I haven't played enough of it to really form that sort of opinion on it, but I know that of the members of this podcast, it hasn't clicked with half of us, which means it's not the stellar, groundbreaking, everybody must play game.
It doesn't click with you, Eugene, because it doesn't look as good as Phantom Hourglass. It's not the game.
It's also clicked with 2/3 of us, so technically it's clicked with more than half of us.
Well, I would actually agree with Justin, believe it or not. I love Monster Hunter, but I kind of agree with Justin in that it just does not have the super broad appeal. And it's great. It could go on a top 50 list easily.
People like you are the reason that Double Cross isn't getting imported.
Hey, I support Monster Hunter personally, but top 25 guys.
Yeah. I mean, I've put more and again, this is personal, but that's like the point.
I mean,
right? I put more time into that game than just about any other game I own. So I personally, I have to vouch for it.
I think another argument I'll make is, especially as we start to whittle this down into top 25 of all time, is 25 years from now, are you likely to go back to Monster Hunter Generations with nostalgia, or are you going to be on the biggest, newest, best Monster Hunter, whereas something like, I don't know, Super Mario Brothers 3 is going to be timeless for everyone?
Given the state of Monster Hunter on Nintendo systems, I'll probably be playing Generations because it'll probably be the last game on a Nintendo system.
All right, let's not rile Mike up again.
We gotta put Monster Hunter Stories on here then.
Oh,
I just had to bring up another game that isn't even out yet because it's such a great running joke.
I want to take out Secret of Evermore because I know nothing about it, but I feel that's unfair.
I've got no love
for it. Know anything about it?
It's a good game, but I mean, I'm not going to fight for it. Not with this list.
All right.
What game?
Yeah, I'm in that same sort of position.
Yeah.
I feel
All right.
Secret of Evermore.
All right. So
again, that's sport.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I got to pick one more.
What game are we cutting? I couldn't hear any.
Secret of Evermore.
It's all right. Yeah.
And I'm going to take out Kirby Superstar because I think Kirby's Adventure is better.
Well, Mike already solidified.
God, I actually agree with Justin. Holy cow.
Yeah, Mike already solidified Kirby's Adventure, so even though I think Superstar is better, like that one's in the list, so we're sticking with it.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it too late to swap?
Can Mike hear us? Can he argue or?
No, right.
We're all good.
In Europe,
Superstar was prefers
Kirby's
Adventure over Superstar.
Okay. All right, those are my three. That was quick and painless. I was expecting much more fighting over Monster Hunter and Kirby, honestly, but...
Well, Lewis, you are up, so what do you want to kill from our list?
Let's do some damage.
Yes, let's.
Okay. 3. Let's do this. Okay.
You got this.
Custom Robo. It's cute. It's fun. It's awesome. It's got a cool style, good design, good character. I reckon it should be killed from this list.
It can go.
I don't think it's as strong as some of these other contenders.
That's like number 27 on the list out of 25. It can go.
Yeah, that's where I would see it, sort of thing. Is there any strong defenders for Custom Robo?
Not I.
That's all Mike.
I put it on there, so no. I put it on there, so no.
No. Okay, Custom Robo is gone. Okay. I thought we decided about one of the F-Zeros. Did we decide on GX or X, or?
Doesn't really matter.
I'm fond of X because of the X Cup, that randomly generates tracks. Plus, I found GX to be too challenging, but it's beautiful. So I also like the soundtrack of X better.
Okay, I'm going to use, I think it was Harrison's argument, and I can't believe I'm using it because I've argued against it every other time, but admittedly, GX had a lot of single-player content that I feel like kind of bumps it up there.
I feel like GX had a lot of single-player content that was so difficult that most people who wanted to play it couldn't.
That's true.
Well, that's a fair argument, but I mean...
It also had some cool customization bits, like you could, customize your actual craft in it.
Yeah.
Very good, yeah.
And admittedly, GX is mostly a remake of X, right? Most of the tracks are copied off of X.
Not really.
No, yeah. Not really. They used a lot of the same locations, but X used a lot of the same locations as the original F-Zero. So it's kind of a, every F-Zero has a Mute City. Every F-Zero has, whatever. So.
Well, I prefer GX, but if you cut it over X, it wouldn't really devastate me.
I personally prefer GX as well. I was just trying to gauge the room here.
Yeah.
Anybody
else?
GX
I have more
supporters?
nostalgia for X as well, if that's worth anything.
I don't think either
so.
F-Zero is going to make the list, so I really don't care either way, to be honest with you.
My suggestion then is to cut F-Zero X and keeping GX. Well, see, that's a separate conversation in itself. Any objections for X going?
I mean, I really want to fight to keep X, but I seem to be the only one. So, for the sake of time, I'll concede.
Okay, so Mark needs not deleting these, aren't they? Okay, so number 3. Interesting. Interesting picks on there. Let's go with. I killed the sequel, so it seems unfair, but I'm going to bring Banjo-Kazooie into this.
Really?
I have trouble with that.
Really?
one.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not. Yeah.
I'm not necessarily going to do the argument or the defense here. So, defenders, rise up.
Okay.
Why should Banjo-Kazooie
Once
be one of
again,
the top 25?
once again, defending. Objectively, and I know Mike's going to disagree with me on this. Objectively, I'd probably rather play Banjo-Kazooie than Mario 64. Like if I was stuck on a deserted island. Well, there's 3 collectathon games. There's Donkey Kong 64, which is generally
No, there isn't.
garbage compared to the other 2. And then there's Banjo-Kazooie and there's Mario 64. And those 2 are both, really good games. I don't know.
I think they both deserve to stay, honestly.
I do too. I mean, Banjo-Kazooie is...
If one of them, if it
really
comes down
good.
to one of them absolutely has to be cut, I would definitely say keep Mario 64 since that was the groundbreaker. But if there's room for both of them, I think they both deserve to stay.
I value that opinion.
Yeah, I'm cautious. Things are going to get very heated. Of all these different games coming at each other, I think Banjo-Kazooie unfortunately lose it in the squeeze when there are things like Mario 64 in the same sentence.
No, I mean, I don't know about
There's
that.
just so many other bad games on this list. I mean, we only have to cut another like 7, but
I mean, as someone who speedruns Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie is pretty fun, and I do enjoy it very much. I think it has a right to be top 25.
I mean, is Banjo-Kazooie any worse than Shovel Knight or Panel de Pon or Punch-Out or Dragon Quest 9? Like,
And
there's other
Banjo-Kazooie took a lot of what Mario 64 pioneered and improved on it.
Yeah.
And then also, made it a ridiculous collectathon with an anticlimactic finale. So, there are pros and cons.
The fact is, we don't have that many more to cut. We're almost done. Do you want to maybe pick another one? And if it comes down to it, we can discuss Banjo again.
We have 41 games left, Lucas.
Oh, I thought we had 32. Wow.
All right. Well,
yeah, we're getting down to the point where they're all good.
Okay. Banjo-Kazooie lives another day. And I failed in my killing spree. So, the next game I'm picking is... It is getting trickier.
Yep, Eugene gave up on us. Oh, there he is.
Hi, sorry.
Well, last time you disappeared from your chair, you left the room for 5 minutes, so we thought you just gave up.
Yeah, that's it. You guys finish off on your own. I'm done. I'm sorry, I missed it. My internet was going out. Did you make your third pick, Lewis?
I failed on my third pick. I tried to kill Banjo-Kazooie off, but I didn't quite make it. So I'm going to pick, and it seems odd, it's only just been put back on here. So I feel I'd lose it. But I'll go with it because I mentioned it. Panel de Pon.
Yeah.
It's a series I really like.
Get it going.
Bruh.
I don't really
I
care.
genuinely really like those games.
Whatever, bruh.
But
In the grand scheme of things, it's not better than Tetris. I mean, they gave Tetris away for free when the Game Boy first came out, for Christ's sakes. I mean, if the Tetris doesn't belong on this list, Panel de Pon has no business.
You
That's
know,
like not even a fair
Yeah.
argument for anything. It doesn't mean anything.
No, because I wanted Tetris to be on there as well. I kind of like these games as equals.
I mean, I defended Panel Upon last time, but I think when it comes down to like your system selling Nintendo identifiable games, I think that's really kind of one of the ones that nobody is going to fight to keep. I love it. It's a great puzzle game, but I fought this battle once, and now I kind of have to lay down.
Yeah, I'm okay with cutting it.
Yeah, in the long run, I'm okay.
Especially since we still have to cut how many again? 15?
Yeah.
Quite a few.
All right.
Okay, well, it's my turn now.
But it's sad to see it go. All the same.
It's my turn. I'm cutting, and I'm not even gonna.
My hands are bloodied.
No one's even gonna question my cuts. So
I'm sure. Let's
What
hear
you got?
I am cutting Punch Out.
That's fair.
Agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, NES
Yeah.
or the Wii doesn't matter. Like I put Punch Out on the NES. It doesn't matter. It's a game, but it's not worth 25 games.
I would definitely agree there.
I'm cutting. I'm
I want to
cutting
argue,
Shovel
but I
Knight.
don't know why.
Cut it to me. That's why you hate me on principle. I'm cutting Shovel Knight. I want to cut Shovel Knight, so I'm doing it.
Bye, Steve.
Any objections there?
I
Are
mean,
any of Steve's picks left?
I don't know.
I think it's good, but I don't know that it belongs on this list.
Yeah, I'm there. If it were a top 30, top 50, whatever, yeah, but ask
And
me
I'm gonna-
again in 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut Melee too. I think 64 is the only Smash game we need on this list, or Smash 4. Melee doesn't need to be on here anymore.
I'm with
Yeah,
that.
well, I was going
As
to
a-
cut 64, but now I won't because now we have to have that debate. And
As someone who actually does play competitive Smash Brothers Melee and stuff, I don't want it on here anymore. It's not top 25 in my mind.
I mean,
Not worth it.
I mean, I would argue with you, but I mean, for the sake of time, I want one Smash Brothers in, and
Yeah.
the Smash that I want to die for is 4. So
Yeah, let's get poor Lewis to
I
bed,
think-
huh?
I think the argument to be made there is 4 basically took
Sounded
everything
right.
that Melee did well and everything that Brawl did well, and then
Yeah.
did both of them better. So if we're going to keep
No,
one
there's
of
no
them-
adventure. There's no adventure mode in Smash 4. So
Yeah, and it does
Yeah.
have Smash Tour. Is that what that's called? Which is the
the
worst
board game.
Yeah, that's
thing.
well, Smash
on
well,
the
Smash
planet.
4, if we're talking Smash 4, I'm just kind of combining both versions, which 3DS had was the Smash, whatever they called it.
Smash
Run.
Tour
But-
or
yeah.
Smash Run, yeah.
Yeah, which was good. So,
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah.
so
All right, well, let's move on. That's my 3. Then we
Okay.
can cut them out real quick.
Yeah, nice.
Lucas's quick cut corner here. Bayonetta 2. It's a great game. Is it top 25 Nintendo? Please don't argue. Come on.
I've never played it.
Yeah,
so
definitely the Wonderful 101 should have taken its place anyway.
Disagree.
Just kidding.
But, like,
That game is broken.
As it pains me, it was and when
I forgot Harrison was even here.
well, I mean, really.
you're not
No.
talking
I know I'm not, but
unless
it's
it's brilliant.
let's let him
well,
talk
thing is,
now.
like, a
huh?
lot of these guys are limiting things that really I don't. I'm like, yes, that's get rid of it. I will not fight Bayonetta 2, but I will say, give out my closing argument for it is, I still believe it's one of the finer action games that Platinum's put out in the last like 5-10 years or so, like 5-6 years or so.
Oh, God,
Absolutely agree with you.
wholeheartedly agree.
Absolutely
Wholeheartedly.
agree with you.
Yeah.
One of the best action games, like, period.
Now it's when Lewis, Colin, and I decided to put the Wii U to bed and rate our top 10 Wii U games that we had, like, each separately, Bayonetta 2 topped my list.
Yeah,
And,
that's
and,
fair.
mhm, and-
It
but
was on ours too.
Yeah,
I'm not going
I
to fight
still
it.
haven't even played
I'm
it.
not going to fight it. And again, that's one of those things, like, it would definitely make top 30. It would be in my top. It would be in top 30. It's just barely outside of that.
Yeah, exactly. I think we all agree. It's a great game. I think it definitely deserves to be on a list. I just don't know if this is the list for it because there's so much competition. You know?
It's not a Nintendo defining game,
But it's a game that Nintendo did save.
right?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
this
but enough.
This moon river is getting wider than a mile. We need to move on.
Yeah. So Bayonetta 2 goes bye-bye. I've only played the tutorial. I didn't fall in love with it. I've already heard some negativity about it. Can we cut Bravely Default? Are there better RPGs on the list already?
I would agree.
Yeah,
I would
that
so
can go.
cut that
That
if we
can go.
could keep Xenoblade Chronicles.
I don't even play RPGs, and I can see better RPGs on the list.
Well, I'm willing to admit, like going off on Holly's point, that while I thought Xenoblade Chronicles was rather boring, a lot of people seem to like it, and it made it into Smash Bros. So there's something to that. So I'm not going to argue the Xenoblade thing, but Bravely Default, I think we can safely cut off the list.
Phantom would kill you in the chat if you killed Xenoblade right now, anyway. So
Yeah. I mean, it's not my favorite, but I'm also not huge on a lot of traditional RPGs. So make of that what you will. Oh boy, the list is getting smaller.
Yeah, are we gonna have enough?
We're doing this.
I would like to suggest that maybe we cut Metroid Zero Mission. It's a good game. It's a great game, but it's not the best Metroid in 2D, and people like Prime, even though I hate it. So it's really not the best Metroid.
Zero Mission.
period.
Some would say it was the
Super.
best 2D one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to say.
There is an
That's
argument
like-
there for it being the best 2D one.
I disliked Zero Mission. Does that count for anything?
Well, my point is, I think Super Metroid is better when we're talking 2D Metroid
Yeah.
games. And
Yes, it
Zero
is.
Metroid or Zero Mission was a good game, but I mean, we've already got Metroid Prime, and is it really
I'm not. I consider
Gold
getting
sta-
rid of
the
Metroid
gold-
Prime
the
except
gold-
Folded.
The gold standard when it comes to Metro games that I will say for anybody, it's Prime, Super, and Zero Mission. Super Metroid helped introduce and basically refine itself in terms of almost created its own subgenre, which of course Symphony Night did. Prime itself, while in some things have aged, I guarantee you its HUD and even its exploration aspects have helped influence a lot of different first-person shooters that really want to go forward. Zero Mission, on the other hand, took everything from Super and refined it, and basically
It's
turned
not as good as Super.
Say what? Well, there are people out there who find it a little bit more, but
Yeah.
if I'm going to
I've
rate,
been
yeah.
arguable.
Say what?
I recently played, within the past few years, both Zero Mission and Super, and I would much rather play Zero Mission again than Super.
Well,
I
see, I'm in the
found
complete
Super-
opposite boat.
I found
I would play
Super-
both.
I think
would play
Super-
both, but I'm just saying.
I think
would-
Super does not age well because you don't have all the, like you said, the refinements that Zero Mission added that make it. I mean, Super Metroid is a slog if you don't know where you're going.
Well,
If you don't-
that, but also I think everything has a purpose in that game as far as that room. I mean, yes, you definitely need. Well, it's not too cryptic. I mean, it's a
Right.
matter of going through each room and finding anything else which you can to actually go through. But I guess that's just me trying to fight to get 3 Metroid games in the top 25.
I would keep all of them if we could because I think they're all amazing genre.
Agreed.
What's the group consensus? I seem to have Eugene's support. I'm not really sure where I'm landing with Harrison, though. Justin seems against it. Holly, have you ever played a Metroid game? Do you have an opinion on it?
I would actually kind of agree with you, Lucas, because I think Super Metroid is just more well-known and more important to the series and the industry than Zero Mission. So, yeah, and I don't think three Metroid games on here. That's a tough one to sell.
When I beat Zero Mission, I didn't have a desire to play it again. When I beat Super Metroid finally for the first time ever, I'm like, yeah, I can play this again for the hell of it.
See, I had the opposite reaction. When I beat Super Metroid, I'm like, thank God I finally got that done. The experience is under my belt. Now I want to play a better Metroid game.
Lewis, any final thoughts before we decide as the Council of Elders here?
I think gauging kind of the temperature of the Metroids in the room here, I think it's going to be Super Metroid winning this. Personally, I think Zero Mission might technically be the better game, but I think there is just something about Super Metroid.
All right.
I guess if I had to,
it might
go ahead, but finish your thought, Lewis.
Sorry, I was just going to say it might just be like the simple story premise to it, or it might have just been because it was, the second, or was it the third of the Game Boy one? Anyway,
well, technically.
Yeah, but I think we've got a lot of Metroid support. I think we could lose Zero Mission with what we've got.
I guess if I had to argue for Super Metroid, if it weren't for Super Metroid, we wouldn't have had a Super Metroid inspired remake of the original Metroid. So
forget that. If we got Super Metroid, we wouldn't have the Super Metroid like genre, like the Metroidvania genre. Like that pretty much started it all, So
yeah, but as we've argued, other games have done it better. So, but
I don't know about that. Super Metroid's pretty up there for me.
Same.
Fine, get rid of it. Get rid of it.
It's already gone. I cut it while you guys were talking. So
bye.
How rude.
Eugene,
Get
us down to 30, please.
I forgot which one Lucas wanted to cut, honestly.
I am so gonna get us down to 30. But I want to let you guys know that after this round, all the games in bold are fair game again. So
don't. Actually, there are a couple there that I'd cut. So.
Yeah.
Why is Sonic Adventure 2?
Well, there goes like the one saving grace on this list for me.
I will stand by Sonic, Lucas. I got you.
We can have that fight. We can have that fight. We're not going to have.
I just don't know if I want to have that fight like 3 hours into a podcast. I'd almost rather just like walk away at this point.
Yeah,
it's a war of nutrition, isn't it? Really?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I've been set up to lose, haven't I?
I am going to make some hard cuts, kids. This is a tough one for me because I mean, I don't really see a game on the list that I don't like, but I do see a game on the list that I'm probably the only one that likes, maybe two, but I'm only willing to get rid of one of them right now. How does everybody feel about Dragon Quest IX? Has anybody played that game?
I was going to cut that, so.
Yeah, I'd like to cut it.
Okay.
I really liked it, but I thought it could be cut, yeah.
Yeah, all right. We're getting rid of it because that's what we do. I'm ready to make another cut that's going to make some people cry. I'm ready to get rid of F-Zero GX.
Yeah, I'm good either way.
Not fighting.
This is why you say there's not going to be a game on here, because you want to be the asshole to take that off. So you can go.
I mean, I just don't feel like an F-Zero game belongs on the top 25. I mean, they're good, but there's kind of a reason Nintendo's not making them.
You're the reason Nintendo doesn't make any more of them.
No, Mario Kart is.
So the only argument I would make against getting rid of F-Zero is we don't really have a true racing game on there except F-Zero, because Mario Kart's really more of a party game than a racing game. But
I mean,
if that means nothing to no one, then
I'm still ready to get rid of it. I don't know that it's I don't know that it's better than
just get rid of. Make it go bye.
Yeah. Okay. I'm at it. Goodbye, F-Zero. Okay, one more cut, and then we're down to 30 games. This is tough, kids. Gosh, I know you guys
throw arms out the window already.
I like arms. I know you guys would fight me,
Holly.
I know you guys would fight me for Xenoblade Chronicles, so I'm not ready to make that one yet. Okay, I'm ready. I'm
a huge Fire Emblem fan, but I actually would not mind saying goodbye to Awakening.
Yeah,
series
I see Harrison over there like tearing his hair out.
I would put the fight on that one.
Yeah. Okay, guys, we're going to get rid of Super Smash Brothers 64.
Fine, take it.
I agree.
All right. Between the two of them, it has to go. And clearly, my argument of it being the start of an amazing genre doesn't matter anymore, so it can go.
All right.
I'm with you on that, Mike. But yeah, as long as we have a Smash on there. Whoa, who's deleting everything here? Okay.
There is no list.
And that was the moment Lewis snapped.
No one gets to pick any game.
Fell on his keyboard.
Yeah. Okay, so
if I can't have Zero Mission.
We're down to 30 games, and let's see how many people we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. So I'm gonna take a turn of not cutting the next game. Does anybody from the Infendo crew want to take a turn on not cutting the next game because it looks like we're only gonna have one more cut from everybody.
Yeah, I don't know if I really want to cut anything else on this list. They're all really good games. Even the ones I don't like Prime, I know are positive enough that I wouldn't want to cut them. So I'm okay reneging on my turn.
Okay, so Lucas and I are going to both sit out this round. I'm going to read the 30 games we have currently on the list, so bear with me here. We have, let me screen share so then our video people can see as well. So we have A Link to the Past, we have Animal Crossing, we have ARMS, we have Banjo-Kazooie, we have Breath of the Wild, Chrono Trigger, Donkey Kong Country 2, Final Fantasy 3, Fire Emblem Awakening, GoldenEye, Illusion of Gaia, Kirby's Adventure, Mario 64, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Mario Maker, Metroid Prime, Ocarina of Time, Paper Mario, Pikmin, Pokemon, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Resident Evil 4, Smash 4, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Go fast, Eugene.
You can't even say that without hurling in his mouth.
I love it.
Star Fox 64, Super Mario 3, Super Mario RPG, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, and Xenoblade Chronicles.
Question. Why is it Mario 64, but it's Super Mario everything else on the list?
Because whoever wrote Mario 64 didn't care enough to put a super in front of it, I guess.
All right, guys. So, Harrison, you are up to cut a game from this list. It's looking like a pretty good list.
Can I just throw in? I have a feeling that the main reason Sonic Adventure is still there is because none of us wanted to waste our turn cutting something that we knew wasn't going to last anyway.
Well, it was bolded before this round, so there's that.
That's right.
It's only just been released.
So, all right, Harrison, you are able to cut Sonic if you want, or you can go after like Breath of the Wild or something. I don't know. You take your pick.
Cut it. Eugene, you're so unobjective.
Cut it.
We're cutting Sonic. Is anybody disagreeing with? You, Lucas. I mean, let me have your moment in the sun here, Lucas. Why do you love this game so goddamn much? I
don't really want to get into it. Let's just cut it and move on.
There should be singing theme tunes from different tracks.
All right. Bye, Sonic.
Huh. So I just found out that being on the Hangout with you guys uses my data, no matter if I'm on an internet connection or not. So this isn't doing well for me right now.
Well, oh yikes! Too late now. Too late to back out.
Yeah.
Yeah, my data just capped for the month.
Oh god.
Well, I've got 10 days, whatever.
Holly, you're up for a cut. 4 games remaining.
Oh, there were a couple that I thought of. I'm not sure what Illusion of Gaia is. I'd be inclined to cut it because it's not very well known. I don't really know what it is.
I'm probably literally the only person who's played that game on this Hangout, but I mean, at least it made it this far.
Yeah. I'll say there's a bunch of RPGs on there that are more notable, so I was going to cut it. So I gotta
play it. It's good.
But
I'm totally open to playing
it's
it.
Getting cut.
No, I'm okay with it getting cut. Not with this list. I mean, cut it. All right. Well, if we're cutting Illusion of Gaia, that means you're up, Justin. So, whose adventure are you going to end today?
I'm having a hard time because any of the ones that I want to cut because I've never played them or can't.
Can't?
Well, do what I did and just ask somebody to explain it to you and defend it. See what they say.
This is tough. Again,
Justin.
What?
Just pick one.
All right. I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm going to take out Xenoblade Chronicles.
No.
So it goes.
No.
I do not have any objection there, but
Come on. Fire Emblem Awakening, please take that one off.
I find Xenoblade rather boring personally.
I mean, I've never played either, but I feel I've heard a lot more love for Fire Emblem Awakening and a lot more life-changing stories than I have about Xenoblade.
I love Fire Emblem Awakening, but I do feel like it's overrated. I hate you, Internet, for loving that game way more than it deserves.
See, that's kind of how I feel about Xenoblade.
Well, apparently nobody here loves Xenoblade.
I'm trying to put up a defense as well. Like, I do think Xenoblade Chronicles has to stay. I mean,
thank you, Lewis.
I know we've.
I would rather have a save for Fire Emblem because I just don't care for Fire Emblem.
It doesn't have to be between these two, though. I mean, it's. But I think Xenoblade on its own, I think it deserves a place in its top 25.
Who the heck is going to cut ARMS already? I mean, it has an X by it as it is.
Yeah, there's a few X's, and ironically, we made the point that Xenoblade Chronicles doesn't have an X. I can understand that confused you. It's quite confusing seeing the X right there. But it's not because it was warned before. It's a fantastic game. And it has, again, and we've backed off this argument, but it has spun up its own series, even though it was kind of a long-running thing in its own right. But just the characters, the story, the ending is crazy. It's probably my favorite ending of the game. The most bizarre one, then, anyway.
So am I not allowed to cut Xenoblade Chronicles? Is that the conclusion we've come to?
That's the conclusion I'm proposing.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
Wait, cutting it officially?
No.
Not
Well,
cutting it.
All right.
Seems like
I've
no.
got a few others. Pikmin.
Ooh.
I'm the one who liked 3 the best, and I don't know.
Yeah, I honestly think 3 should have been on the list to begin with.
Oh.
What other one was I eyeing? This is so tough, guys. And ARMS is going to be another argument. And I can't use the argument of it hasn't been out long enough because I'm going to fight for Breath of the Wild for the opposite reason.
Well, gosh, they're just about more than 3 months apart from each other. So Breath of the Wild, I think, deserves a little more. Breath of the Wild is more well-reviewed anyway.
3 months, really? 3 months.
Okay, but to be fair, a lot of people will play a game for a month or so and then stop playing it, whereas Breath of the Wild is still kind of a popular game.
Yeah.
I've stopped playing Zelda entirely. I'm still playing ARMS.
Okay, but you have, a lot of other people haven't.
Yeah, I agree.
And for a game to still have that long of a tail after most people have beaten it, that's quite an accomplishment. All right, I'm going to take up Paper Mario.
Yes.
I love the game. I think it's
out of all the RPGs, it wasn't Paper Mario. Damn.
That is kind of ironic, but I mean, you know, it is what it is. It's a niche game.
No, scratch that. No, I'm keeping Paper Mario. All right, I'm keeping Paper Mario. I'm taking out Super Mario RPG because Paper Mario did do some unique things with the genre, whereas Super Mario RPG, other than the timing-based battle system, was basically just a Final Fantasy game.
I can back that decision. I agree with that, actually.
All right.
Yeah.
So are we cool with keeping paper but ditching RPG?
Yes.
I'm not, but like, I mean, that seems like.
I think you're the minority on this one, Eugene.
Yeah.
I mean,
Say goodbye to that
but something
adventure,
has to
too.
I can concede defeat there. That's fine. No problem.
That was a nice pun, Lucas. I like that.
It's what we do best at Infendo.
All right. Well, Lewis, looks like you're up. 2 games remaining to cut. So which one do you want to do?
Well, we don't have much left. Obviously, we've got some. I could attempt a crazy one. Shall I attempt a crazy one?
Oh gosh, hit me.
All right. Open your minds, people.
Okay.
I'm possibly going to suggest some people's favorite game of all time here. Definitely some people's favorite game of all time. A lot of people's favorite game of all time.
I'm waiting to hear which Zelda you're cutting.
Right?
Someone's guessed it already. Mario Bros. 3.
Oh, I'm okay with that.
I did guess that one. All right.
Oh man.
I mean,
a few reasons. Like, one, there's always been like a close argument between like Bros 3 and World, which is better. Good arguments both sides. You know, they're fairly similar games. They're both good in that sense. But we've also got Mario Maker in here.
Yeah.
And I feel there's enough overlap between that and the competing other similar game.
Mario Maker shouldn't even be here.
Oh,
yeah. I think it should.
Yeah, no, and I'm going to go with
it's
Mike.
It's a weird argument. Fair enough. No, that's the reasonable logic. But this is what I'm presenting here. It's very early in the morning, so this could be why. I think it's just coming up to 4:10 in the morning, and I do have work in a few short hours. But Mario Bros. 3, as good as it is, I do think with Mario Maker and Mario World also on the list, you can get like enough of that experience by playing those two games?
I would rather play Super Mario Brothers 3 and Super Mario World than Mario Maker if I was given the choice of ditching one of them.
So I think Mario Maker does give you something which the other two don't on their own. Though.
That's true.
That's also true.
For me personally, I prefer Mario 3 and Mario World over Mario Maker. If I have to choose between 3 and World, I'm choosing World over 3.
Mario Maker is a great tool, not so much a great game.
It's a great game.
That's the thing.
It's a great tool.
I think it created like a few levels. It's the others I've been just playing it as a game.
It's a great tool, but also I would say it's the definitive use of what the gamepad can be. Even though
there's also...
I would agree with that. You cannot do that on anything but the Wii U or the 3DS.
Without it being a huge
Or
headache.
the Switch.
I mean, there are a lot of games that have
It would
level
not work nearly
creators,
as well
but
on the Switch.
Well...
I don't know about that. Anyway,
I'm not sure how we handle this one, so I guess I'll ask the question and we'll see what the answer is. Shall we drop Mario Bros. 3 from this list?
I'm okay with it.
I haven't played World, but I would drop World over 3. But yeah, 3 can go.
I would be okay with getting 3 off of the list as long as we keep Mario Maker, because if we lose Mario Maker, then I want to get that game back.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's kind of my advice on it.
Well, then I guess we're dropping 3 because I'm the only one who's still defending it. But I will still argue that I think World, more than any other Mario game, is derivative of its predecessor. It basically took Super Mario Brothers 3 and made it 16-bit. Whereas Super Mario Brothers 3 was something completely different when it came out.
Yeah, even I would agree with that. And Super Mario World might just tie Ocarina of Time as my all-time favorite game.
Not to mention the cape is game-breaking. You get a good running start with that, you can skip entire levels.
But
which
does that make a game less fun?
When that's not the intention. I mean, Nintendo is very particular about designing these levels and these challenges in very specific ways. And when you put a feature in there, I mean, to it, you haven't seen another Mario game that uses an infinite flying mechanic because they saw it and said, this breaks the level.
Valid point. Are we cutting 3?
Arms. You know, even the chat agrees. Like, most of the chat, I think, agrees that ARMS should be gone, and it should have been gone a long time ago.
It's him and it's Mike.
Keep Kirby. Wait a minute. Oh, poor Lucas's Sonic is gone. So, fine, Lucas, I'll go easy on you. You and your precious ARMS.
I'm not making any more arguments if I haven't convinced anybody at this point.
Yeah, can we go back to the topic at hand? It sounds like we're all good with cutting 3 except for Justin. Like,
I'm ready to cut.
Yeah, let's cut it.
And possibly me, but I don't know.
And
That's too
possibly
hard.
Holly, but-
That is too hard. Go back to
Well, let's be rebels. Let's
See,
be the
even
one
Steve,
group
you
that
guys-
doesn't have it on a group.
We have not done a solid for Steve this entire episode, and he says ARMS needs to go. Shovel Knight can't be on ARMS doesn't deserve to be, says Steve.
I don't care what Steve says. I don't care what Steve says.
Yeah, I
Okay, well, 3 people in the chat,
all right,
plus me, think ARMS needs to go.
In 3 months, when Splatoon 2 is out, are you still going to be playing ARMS?
Hell yes.
I will be. Absolutely.
And Splatoon 2
Really
comes
good.
out in like a day.
Right, but I'm using the Breath of the Wild
Guys,
argument.
it's my turn. I want to cut a game. I'm done.
All right.
Yeah, and
All right.
absolutely.
Maybe Mike can help us.
Can I cut a game now? Are we ready?
Well, wait, are we cutting Mario 3? What's
I
happening?
already did.
Yeah,
Already did.
already
Okay.
got cut.
Then Mike
I
gets last pick.
conceded.
All right, I have the final cut, and I'm cutting Fire Emblem because I don't care for Fire Emblem. I am totally circumventing every argument here about ARMS and Mario and Splatoon and Kirby and Knick-Knack Paddywhack giving dog bones. I'm just cutting Fire Emblem.
I can agree with that.
Harrison might fight you on that one, it seems, but you're not going to get any argument from me.
Oh, I would fight him on
You
it
can
too,
break that
but-
game
You'll
so
get no
easily.
sympathy from me.
there are better Fire Emblem games. If there was a Fire Emblem game on here, it shouldn't be Awakening. I know everyone seems to love it so much, but a few extra minutes of grinding in that game, and you can just breeze through it. There's no strategy.
So much more fun than any of the other Fire Emblem games.
What's that?
So much more fun than the other Fire Emblem.
Well, the reason why I want to fight for something on there is because, like, for Fire Emblem, is because I just felt like a Fire Emblem game, like, in this era, definitely deserves to be on it, even if we don't have the other ones to fight over, like, say, Fates.
I know, I would have put a completely different one on there.
I mean, like, Awakening...
Because I preferred Awakening story as opposed to Fates.
Yeah.
I prefer just about everything on in Fates to Awakening. Which
So Awakening just did such a good job of bringing Fire Emblem back that I feel like it deserves a spot. Like, I mean, I think Awakening is the only reason that we even still have Fire Emblem games, period, over here. And the popularity just skyrocketed because of it.
You can't say that about ARMS. You can't say anything about ARMS at this point.
God,
I just don't know why you guys all are obsessed.
It's so
it's
good.
not hatred. It's
really
like it's a brand new game. It's really shallow. There's been no time.
What I think the problem is here is the fact that Holly has noodle arms. She wants anger arms, but she can't. So
all right. So are we cutting? Oh wait, what's up?
I was going to say. I mean, we're not actually. I don't think we're actually debating whether.
Can I propose? Can I propose something? Sorry.
No, can we not?
One at a time.
Go ahead, Lewis.
All right, sorry. I'll finish my bit very quickly. I just want to say about ARMS, I am really enjoying it. I am still playing it. But I do feel a bit uncomfortable putting it in like the top 25 status. It does seem too soon. As even though I'm genuinely still playing it, still having fun. It's a really good co-op game as well, and I do love those. I say, local multiplayer. But it hasn't been out a few weeks. It seems bizarre putting up against all these things which have been established, so we've had long time to think them through and gather our thoughts. And like ARMS is, they've already said it's a thing about it's going to be extra download content in the future. So that stuff's not even just begun really. So later on down the road, we might have a different idea of what this game even is. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of say that around ARMS. So I mean, as much as I like it, I wouldn't be amiss if it was to be cut for some reason.
I was going to propose, since we had this debate earlier and it has an X next to it, and we can't convince anybody to cut ARMS. Why don't we just cut Banjo-Kazooie?
I can actually definitely see that.
Yeah,
because ARMS is its own thing. It's going to be hard to argue with the people who are putting so much time into it, whereas Banjo-Kazooie is kind of Super Mario 64 Deluxe.
Yeah, that's a fair argument.
I mean, I know I already had my chance to cut, but that seemed like a good compromise.
Well, that being said, yeah, it is Mike's turn. So, I mean, if we can come to some kind of a group consensus, Mike should have the overall opinion here.
Yeah,
like, if he's going to cut Fire Emblem, he's going to cut Fire Emblem. But, like,
Yeah.
Mike, so here, let me just say my point about Fire Emblem, then I'll let you make your pick here, Mike. You guys were all saying about Fire Emblem that there's other Fire Emblem games on the list, and I would have put another Fire Emblem game on the list. Well, nobody put another Fire Emblem game on the list, so I mean, why don't we cut Fire Emblem if Mike is wanting to cut Fire Emblem? Is all I got to say, because it sounds like a lot of people aren't even saying that this is the best Fire Emblem. You know what I mean?
I am, but
And with that said, Mike, you make your pick, buddy.
Oh man, I just want to flip a coin now. I'm just so over this, like ARMS, Banjo, whatever. Do I have a coin in my wallet so I can flip one? I'm out of coins. What a horrible day.
Heads, Banjo, tails, Fire Emblem.
What a terrible night for a person. So I'm gonna, you know what? Who wants me to cut Banjo instead of Fire Emblem?
I would well, of course I would.
Is it between Fire Emblem? So ARMS isn't even part of it?
No.
Then cut Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, my vote's for Banjo over Fire Emblem.
Ugh, I am going to be disgusted for the rest of my life that ARMS made it on here.
Then we're cutting Fire Emblem. No, I'm just kidding. We're cutting Banjo.
All right.
All right.
We get to order these next week. Won't that be fun?
Yeah.
Well,
No,
at least next week we don't have to completely delete anything from the annals of history. We can just.
I
move it
cordially
lower down the
invite.
list.
I cordially
vote for
invite
arms
all
at
of you back.
25.
I cordially invite all of you back next week. Do this again so we can organize it together.
Yes,
Oh, God.
definitely, definitely. Well,
Well,
I
yes, because I need another 3-hour-long podcast.
Yeah, right.
yeah, and
My
with that
girlfriend's
said,
already gone to bed.
we're probably gonna cut the show actually here instead of doing any memory section at the end, just for the interest of time. But before we do that, I'm going to go and read our entire list. So right now we have on the list Link to the Past, Animal Crossing, ARMS, Banjo-Kazooie's gone, Breath of the Wild, Chrono Trigger, Donkey Kong Country 2, Final Fantasy 3, Fire Emblem Awakening, GoldenEye, Kirby's Adventure, Mario 64, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Mario Maker, Metroid Prime, Ocarina of Time, Paper Mario, Pikmin, Pokemon Heart Gold Soul Silver, Resident Evil 4, Smash 4, Splatoon, Star Fox 64, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, and Xenoblade Chronicles. Not X, though. Not X. I don't know, it just got deleted, but I'm guessing it was Mike, whoever did it.
I didn't delete anything. I didn't delete anything.
Okay, so guys, we are done with that. But I did want, before we close off the show, I did want to give Harrison and Holly and Lewis one last chance to talk about anything that you guys wanted to talk about, Infendo or otherwise, before you get out of here. I know that you guys all have your respective podcasts, but it's not every day that we have this big, huge crew on, and especially not every day that we have all this Infendo alumni. So this is the floor for y'all. I know you guys have to get out of here. So Lewis, why don't you start with us? I mean, it's like 5 in the morning over there. So
Wow.
Almost. Not quite, but we're getting there. Yeah, anyway, so we are from Nintendo Voice, as they are, me and Harrison here. Colin is also part of the crew. He's not with us today, though. If you've not checked out our stuff, please do. I mean, you obviously like Nintendo. You stuck around this long. Search Nintendo Voice, or on YouTube, it's youtube.com/Nintendo Voice. We also do a live video podcast as well. Not usually as long as these, though. Whether that's a pro or con, that's up to you. I don't really have anything else to plug, but I want to say thank you, obviously, for inviting us on, and it's great to see Infendo going strong still. So not just going, but going strong.
Blame Eugene.
It's really cool just to be able to listen to it, and like, oddly enough, just be able to like not be a part of it and just sit back and enjoy it. And it's really cool. Please keep up the great work.
Awesome. Well, you guys too over at Nintendo Voice.
I feel so nice right now. I feel so humbled.
I try and join in on the live chat when you guys are doing your live feed, and I enjoy what you guys are doing.
Yeah,
yeah, I gotta join in more often. Lewis, before you go, I want to ask you a question real quick about the live stream. Did you name this week's episode 99.5 just because our big milestone is this week, so you can make yours next week, so you can have your own spotlight?
No, it wasn't. It was. We weren't quite ready yet. We needed a little bit extra time.
Some planning.
So we did a. Yeah.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Well, after this episode, you definitely need to do more planning for yours, so it doesn't end up like ours.
Well, it was not just this planning though. It was. I just couldn't get between working before mid-May. I was working between 2 jobs. I was practically working 7 days a week. Like that was it, and doing my duties with Pure Nintendo and Nintendo Voice. But of course, there was a point during Nintendo Voice I had to take like a month and a half sabbatical because it was just I can't get on the show. I have no open dates. So with this one for episode 100 for us, it's just we wanted to make it a little special. So.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
That's cool.
Fair. Well, Harrison, now is your moment. You need to tell us. I know you've already said that you're from Nintendo Voice. I know you've already said that you're with Pure Nintendo. But do you have any other, Infendo memories or anything otherwise that you want to hit before we let you get out of here?
I never. Okay. The main thing I really got into like journalism or just writing in general was because some people wanted to write about sports, some people wanted to write about politics, some wanted to write about profiles. I mean, that was one of my specialties in college, but I really wanted to write about video games. It was my main passion growing up, and still is to this day. And you know that Wall of Nintendo to me is the one thing for me, as much as the things that pains me with the simplest things that they pain me they do, or the great things that they just put out yearly. I mean, it's a back and forth battle, but for me, I just don't see myself being without it. Now, in terms of Infendo, it was, while not as big as when I initially saw it when it was at its state back in when I was growing up, but to be joined to actually going into a full-time podcast and, you know, meeting people, and you're like Lewis, Colin, and especially Holly, and then that spreading out to meet more people as far as a community that listen to you. I mean, if there was one thing for me going in, whether it's a podcast, is hearing people's feedback. You know, some would say like, hey, I listened to this on my drive home, or it gets me through tough times, like to me. And I'm one that really am glad, and all of us can actually bring that to you as far as something. I tried to find a bit of an objective truth to it. So, right. I mean, I may have my fanboyisms and, you know, get excited for things, but I try to keep a keen, respective, critical eye to this. And to me, I think Infendo and everybody else doing that to just, God, I just enjoy. I enjoy it. I enjoyed my time here, and I can't believe I'm just great for you guys to getting 400 episodes.
Yeah, hey man, and like I said before, like both of you guys, everybody who's been on the show, I mean, you guys are more than welcome to come back anytime you guys want. So feel free every Wednesday night. All right, Holly, awesome. You're up. You're gonna try and make me cry. I can see it in your eyes. So do something for me.
Oh, well, I did have a little story in mind, and it's just when I first came to Infendo and was told or was asked basically to come to Infendo back in 2011, way before I was actually on the podcast. Like I say, I had my first stint with Infendo, and then I had the hiatus. Is that what we decided to call it?
Yeah.
I had that, and then I came back to Infendo like probably more than a year after that, which is crazy. I've got like 2 different Infendo profiles actually, but the very first time that I was told or asked to come to Infendo, I was doing my own teeny little blogger blog, and someone from Infendo actually emailed me and said like, hey, we'd like you to work for Infendo. And at the time, like that was huge. And I remember getting that email in my bedroom. And after I got that email, I was about to explode with joy. And I feel like I physically could not contain it. So I like dashed outside. We have a deck and a trampoline next to the deck, so that we can jump from the deck to the trampoline. So I flew outside onto the deck and just flew off the deck onto the tramp, and because like I say, I felt like I physically could not contain the joy. So that's kind of how my Infendo adventures began, and I'm really grateful that I was able to have so many of those Infendo adventures. Real grateful to you, Lewis, who you had enough faith in me to allow me to get on the podcast for the first time.
On the podcast, definitely.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. The first time Lewis and I ever chatted, we actually played Trine 2 multiplayer together for some random reason. So yeah, that was fun too. So yeah, those are just a couple of stories. And like Harrison, I mean, the fans have really made it really special to all of us, I think. So for those who are still in the chat, like, thanks so much for sticking with us and for supporting us and saying kind things to us, because you're what makes it worth it.
Right. And I don't know that you gave your Twitter handle there at the end, Holly. Why don't you hit that too?
Not at the end. Nope.
I didn't get mine either, but you go on, Holly.
I am on Twitter at Lil Red Koopa, Lil, you know, like little, Lil Red Koopa. So look for me on Twitter. That's basically the only social media that I do right now.
Harrison, I know you didn't give yours either, so why don't you hit that real quick?
Mine is H Milfeld, HMILFELD as in dog. So, and if you want to add me on Switch and stuff like that, I have my friend, like my screen cap of my profile on the pin to my page. So there's that.
And Lewis, give us your Twitter handle, and please tell me what it means, because I've been wondering for a long time.
And spell it.
Well, I will spell it. Spelling's for me at least the easy bit. So it's pronounced Lusion, which is Leuvision. Could you have asked? I will give you a genuine answer. Because I mean, it is essentially like the name of my company. I use air quotes. I don't have a registered company. But it's the name I developed software under.
Hey, Cookie
Mike,
Boy,
mute.
cut it out.
But the name actually came from a game that I made or never got around to finish making, and it's a game which I still plan to make called 21 Days. And it's a fictional group in this game which are called LIVESTREAM. And the reason how that name gets made up in the game is, the reason how I came up with that name, and it is Nintendo related. It's this group, and I'm making this short, is kind of fixated on bringing back like this evil demon. And the original very basic design of it was I got inspiration from the Pokemon Lugia.
Oh.
So it's kind of like an altered, demonized version of that. It's not very recognizable, but now that I've said it, you will, because it's got a long neck. But it's basically like evil Lugia, illusion. It kind of, but yeah, that's where it came from.
All right. Hey, that's, I mean.
And 21 Days will come out one day. It's my big project. And I'm not sure I've ever shown this. I actually teased it on the chat. Someone mentioned it, but your long time ago, I got a tattoo which says 21 Days on my arm for the express purpose that I will one day get that game finished, because I've got all the story and
it's amazing.
All the kind of the character points put down.
Commitment.
And it's a lot more complex than anything else I've put out.
I'm glad you brought up your tattoo. I was going to bring it up. I couldn't remember if I dreamt that I talked about your tattoo when I had your podcast with you, or if I just came in my head out of nowhere. But I'm like, I know he has a tattoo of something about that game.
Awesome. All right. Well, we really appreciate all you guys being on, and Sean too. Sean had to leave early, but we also appreciate him. Yeah, guys, it's been real. In the interest of time, Infendo crew, you ain't gonna be giving out your Twitter handles tonight. I'm sorry.
I'm okay with that.
I could have given it already.
But I will give them out for you because I have them out here in front of me. So, guys, it's been real. It's been Infendo Radio. It's the 400th episode. It's been a really, really good time. Thank you guys for joining us. I mean, I think I speak for the entire Infendo crew saying that you brought some class to a very, very classless podcast. So,
and you managed to keep Mike from swearing for 3 hours. So,
and keep me awake.
I like to think that was my influence.
Yeah, good luck with that tomorrow, Lucas, or today, as it were.
Yeah, but you can follow everything that Infendo is doing on Twitter at Infendo on Twitter. You can follow me at Infendo Eugene. You can follow Justin at Infendo Justin. You can follow Mike at Mike_the_poet. You can find Lucas at Mike_the_parrot. It's an inside joke. You can find Steve, who's not here tonight, at Gentis1. And did I miss anybody? That's it.
I don't think so.
We did it. Okay, but before we get out of here, guys, I did want to read one final note from Blake Snow, actually. He could not be on the show tonight, but he is the founder of Infendo, and he did give me a written statement in lieu of him being on the show. So I'm going to go ahead and just read that now once I pull it up from my Gmail. There we are, episode 400. Okay, so this is the statement from Blake. He says, I founded Infendo in 2005 because after graduating from college, it was difficult to converse with like-minded Nintendo fans. A year after that, podcaster extraordinaire Scott Johnson emailed me out of the blue saying he was a fan of the site and wanted to produce a podcast together. While we're no longer involved in the show, it's reassuring to see it can carry on under Eugene's leadership. Well, for any who have stuck around, I hope it's brought many one-ups in your life. Congratulations on reaching 400 episodes, Blake Snow. So yeah, thanks for that, Blake. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I think we should all just say goodbye at the very same time and call it a day, yeah?
Are you going to count down?
No, we ain't going to count down.
We did games today.
Yeah, we don't need no countdowns. All right, guys, it's been real. See y'all later on. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Good night.
Infendo Radio is off.
All right. Pause this and finally export this.
Oh, and
All
just
right.
remember, guys, we are still live on YouTube until Eugene hits that magic button. So
Yep.
don't
Well,
start
I'm heading
talking
out.
about
I gotta-
like, what color underwear you're wearing.
Well, I'm wearing blues, but I gotta go. I gotta go walk my dog. So I'll see you guys later.
See, Mike.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
see you later.
stop.
Have fun.
I'm also gonna stop the broadcast and say
Peace
goodbye
out,
to our
guys.
live feed. Goodbye, live feed.
Bye. Thanks for
Well, hey,
sticking with us.
Hey, how do you want me to send this to you?